Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Lightforce Podcast, episode number 46. I am Noah, this is Laney, as always. How are we doing?
Pretty fantastic. It has been a fun week of going to the movies. It's a really fun way to kind of leave off the month of June and then really let us dive in headfirst to all of the amazing things we have coming in July. Yes, yes. I'm doing great. I'm a little busy. I feel like I'm busy all the time. I haven't been able to stream lately. I've kind of picked up my freelancing thing that I told you about, and now I'm just busy all the time. Like when I'm not working at my part-time job, I am literally sat at my computer doing social media stuff. So yeah, it's been a little bit
The grind never
stressful.
stops.
It's been a little bit stressful because I also need to do my own social media stuff. So yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
lot, but hopefully
I hear
it
you.
won't be like this for too long. So I'm glad that we get to sit down and talk about more fun things than
Yeah.
work for a
Well,
little
you know
bit.
how the people can help us make sure you don't have to do that for too long?
Yeah.
A bunch of ways, guys. Let's just get right into the housekeeping before we even talk about what we're talking about this week. Where can the people find you, first off?
You can find me everywhere at Laney Byers. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. I post every day on Instagram and TikTok. Please, a comment, a like, a subscribe, a follow goes a really long way. Please help me do this full time. That is the dream. I would love to just grind out content for you guys instead of grinding out content for other people. So please throw
Yeah.
a little like my way.
For the
No
love
nation.
of all that's mighty. And you guys can go follow me everywhere at Noah Nation Nerdy. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. What else am I forgetting? Twitter. I think that's all of it. We're going to be starting X-Men 97 reactions next week. Really, Marvel still hasn't said when they're dropping these episodes. Is it 3 a.m.?
I'm
Is it
scared.
9
I'm
p.m.?
scared.
And I feel like they're not saying anything because it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And they don't want anybody to get mad at them. But either way,
Dropping 3 episodes at 3 a.m. Oh my god, please.
I'm just gonna
don't
have to
do
wait till
this.
Thursday morning or Wednesday
Yeah.
morning, whatever it's gonna be. I don't know because I'm not staying up till that late for 3 episodes, bro. And then I gotta record, edit. Yeah, guys, I want to do this full time too, but I need some sleep. But more importantly than all that, go follow the Lightforce Podcast everywhere. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Twitter now as well. If you're watching here on YouTube, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you listen on Apple and Spotify, be sure to give us a follow and a rating. Join our Discord, join the community. We'll get back to weekly questions next week, so we got a lot to talk about this week. And you get 10% off on our merchandise, which we have merchandise dropping all the time. We got Supergirl stuff. I got this Daredevil shirt that's still up from a couple of months ago. We got a bunch of stuff and more stuff coming this summer. The merchandise is linked across all of our social medias, and of course linked down below in the description here on YouTube. If you guys want to help support the podcast, help us grow, help us do this full time, and help us not have to do any other things but make content for you guys, be sure to go support us any way you can. We very much appreciate it.
We do. And yes, the thumbnail of this episode says that it is our Supergirl review, but it is also going to be our Toy Story 5 review. So in the beginning of this episode, we're going to review Toy Story 5, just me and Noah. And then a little bit later on, we're going to cut. We're probably going to be in different clothes. And we're going to have a special guest when we review
We're just going to sit
Supergirl.
here for the next 24 hours. Nobody move, nobody gets hurt.
Shirt, yes.
No,
yeah, we're gonna have a special guest. It's
Yeah.
gonna be so much fun. It'll be our first time reviewing a new film with a guest on the podcast. It's really only technically gonna be our third if it's determined focused, and then Hannah, and then now our guest for today. So
we're acting like you guys don't know, like you didn't see the thumbnail of the,
right.
of the episode.
Yeah, but yeah, as of right now, it's still kind of a surprise, but you guys know who it is. We're really excited to have her on. I think you guys are also going to be excited to have her on, especially everyone that comes from her follower base, because she has a very large following and she is the Supergirl girl. So I think this is perfect. She's going to have a whole hour and a half or however long she wants to take to get all her thoughts out there. So I'm excited to have her on. It's going to be so much fun. But before we do all of that, we have Toy Story 5 to talk about, which is honestly a monumental film. Every time a Toy Story movie comes out, it makes $1 billion. So this is kind of a big deal.
Toy Story, once again, does not disappoint at the box office. I'm pretty sure it did pretty well in its opening weekend, Father's Day weekend, which was probably a genius on Disney's part. Even when I went to see it, a lot of families in the theater, and I always talk about my theater's usually pretty quiet, pretty dead, but there was a good chunk of families in there on Sunday. We went on Sunday as well, so.
I might be crazy when I say this, but I was pretty sure that Toy Story broke its own Like, the Toy Story 5 had the biggest box office opening of any Toy Story movie. Am I crazy in
That
saying that?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
Okay,
I don't
well,
know.
you keep yapping and I'll look it up.
No, we got Toy Story 5 this past weekend. Toy Story is on your team for box office
It
strength, I
is.
believe, which
Yes,
is very
it
unfortunate.
is.
But it's all right, dude. I still got Avengers Doomsday at the end of the year, which is like, Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah,
Even though,
he
bro,
thinks
I'm
it's
pretty
gonna
sure
carry.
I got Mando and Grogu, and I got Supergirl. I'm pretty sure. Or no, you got Supergirl. You got Supergirl. Thank
I have
goodness you got
Supergirl.
we'll talk about that
Uh-oh.
tomorrow, maybe. But listen, Toy Story's Toy Story. We've talked about before. Are we in the camp that it should have just probably ended at 3? I mean, yeah, but at the same time, if there's a good story to tell, at the end of the day, it's Toy Story. It's always fun, so I wasn't necessarily opposed to a new Toy Story movie coming out, and I was kind of looking forward to going and see it, and I don't regret going to see it. It was fun. We're gonna talk about it a little bit more. We'll give our Toy Story rankings of all 5 movies, our rating overall for this movie, and I definitely have a couple thoughts on this movie overall, but let's see what this box office landed at. I'm not sure. You know what?
It's taking forever.
Was Toy Story 3 the top? Like, Toy Story 4 didn't beat it, right? Like,
So
before this
listen
came out?
to this. Toy Story 5 had the biggest opening weekend of any film in the Toy Story series. Hooray! Hooray! So Toy Story 5 grossed $160 million in its opening weekend. Toy Story 3 did $110 million. Toy Story 4 did $120 million. And Toy Story 5 got $160 million
I wonder, like,
in its opening
if
weekend.
it's like if people adjusted for inflation, like if it's still like technically as big.
Yeah,
in comparison to like 3 and 4 and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure it probably still is.
I think this did adjust for inflation because it says
I'm not doubting that. I mean, a lot of people do that nowadays before they put
Toy Story 5 opened to approximately 312 million, but domestically 160. So, there you
listen,
go.
either way, it was a success. I'm sure Disney's real happy. I'm sure they're real happy that Toy Story made money because Moana ain't looking like it's going to make a lot of money.
No, I think it will,
sorry,
though. I think
DJ.
it will. But listen, this is the thing that I was thinking about. This is why I thought that it broke a record. This Toy Story 5 had the biggest opening weekend of 2026 at the domestic box office. Of any film, of any movie. Toy Story 5,
I mean,
highest
so
opening
far
weekend.
that doesn't surprise me. I think Spider-Man and Doomsday are going to beat it out. Not because, like, I just personally like Marvel, so I want my thing to win or anything like that, or our box office draft or anything. I just think naturally, like, those are 2 massive movies coming out in the next 6 months, so I don't think Toy Story is going to hold on to that position, but it doesn't surprise me that so far, based on what's come out this year, based on the stuff we've seen, obviously I'm pretty sure there's been like some big horror movies and some other stuff that has come out in the last 6 months, but no, it doesn't surprise me that Toy Story's on top right now.
Yeah,
personally.
and I honestly, even though I don't think Moana 2 is going to be good at all, I do think that it's going to do well in the box office, at least a little. I think it's going to do better than we think.
I could have swore I just saw something the other day that said pre-sales are not going hot.
Really? Okay. I mean,
and I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Me. But I do want it to do well also because it is in my box office team for my box office draft.
I want it to do well just
obviously.
because I just want people to put respect on The Rock's name. The Rock Laser, you guys know
He should have asked for a better wig. But, we should...
Well, yeah, I won't argue with anybody. Both The Rock and what's-her-face, I don't know the actress's name, both
who
of them
did
just
the
struck
wigs?
out with their hair. Yeah, who did the wigs? We want to talk to them. Can we get that as on the guest on the podcast?
What are we doing putting a wig on a girl with perfect hair? Perfect hair. Perfect Moana hair.
It's a shame we didn't do this movie like 25 years ago when The Rock still had some hair. But regardless, you want to give this a rating out of 10?
Yep, okay.
What would I give this out of 10, as a matter of fact?
I don't know, you better think about that.
No, I got it.
I have my star rating.
Yeah,
okay,
I was just doing the same thing. I was like, I know what I rated this on Letterboxd,
Yeah.
so what is that kind of equivalent to out of 10?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So here is our rating out of 10 for Toy Story 5. Ready?
3, 2, 1, then go?
Yeah. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, 7.
7.5.
Yeah, I'm okay with moving it up to a 7.5. Well, it's definitely not on like the 6 end of my 7 rating. It's definitely closer to an 8 because I honestly did really enjoy this movie. Definitely more than I thought I would. I think it has a lot of really great heartfelt moments. I think that it's funny. I found it really funny, to be honest. I can't lie. Parker and I were laughing the whole time. We're laughing the whole time. It's not the funniest Toy Story movie by any means, but it was still funny.
But it had its moments.
It was still funny to me. I obviously have my hangups about it. I have some things that I didn't like. I obviously gave it a 7. I didn't give it a 10. I think on Letterboxd I rated it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, which I think, like, for me that would be like my 7. So yeah, there's a lot of things I liked, and there's a couple things I didn't like, and yeah, we can get more into it. We'll do non-spoilers for the first little bit of it, I guess. Sure. It's been out for so long, I feel like we should just do spoilers. What do you think?
I mean, it's been out for what, over a week at this point, and I mean,
yeah,
it's
by
only
the time
Toy
this
Story,
comes out,
you know, it's
yeah,
not
let's
like
just
we're talking about
spoilers.
Spider-Man Brand New Day here.
Yeah.
But
we're
I mean,
gonna do spoilers in this,
Yeah. To give my brief thoughts, I liked it too. It had some comedic moments. I agree, it wasn't the funniest Toy Story in the world, because I mean, Toy Story 1 and 2, I think, are just like all-timers in terms of Pixar comedy. There's also some things I disliked, like, you know, some characters not really getting the shine like they used to, but at the same time, the characters that did get the shine, like Jessie, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story. It was fun. I guess I can't really talk about anything else without getting into like spoilers and whatnot.
Yeah.
You want to talk? I mean, pros of the movie, cons of the movie. In terms of cons, like, I guess we could start there. Yeah, I could have used a little bit more Buzz and Woody together in this movie, because it's Buzz and Woody and it's Toy Story. But at the same time, I understand we're trying to tell a little bit of a different story. They still got them in there and incorporated them. We did have a whole army of Buzzes, which I enjoyed. But I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, it's always, you know, I'm coming to Toy Story for Buzz and Woody. If they're not there, then I'm not there. So I could have used a little bit more of them.
Yeah, and I felt like at some point they didn't really know how to write Buzz and Woody as side characters, and they really very much so wanted them to take a back seat in this movie. And I think Jessie was great. I think the stuff they did with Jessie was great. I think there was a lot of things in Toy Story 2 that left room for a Jessie story moving forward. So I'm glad that they did this movie and that they gave her her own story and her own arc, because I felt like that Toy Story 2 stuff was a little bit unfinished with her backstory and everything. So I'm glad that this was kind of the follow through of that. But I think it was still weird to see how much of a backseat Woody and Buzz took in this movie. I am okay with them not being the main characters, I guess, but also Toy Story is Woody and Buzz. It's also Jessie, of course, but like you said, like Toy Story is Woody and Buzz. That's who. Yeah. That's what this franchise is.
And I don't mind like Jessie being the main character of this movie, because it's not like out of nowhere they just made her like, oh, what's Jessie doing as the main character? Like, she's not supposed to be in this role. Like, she's always been a main character. Like, actually, I saw a clip from the Pod You're Looking For guys, who we did an episode with recently. Go check it out. And and one of them mentioned that, you know, Jessie was so seamlessly inserted into the cast in Toy Story 2 that you almost forgot she wasn't in Toy Story 1. I thought that was a great point, because Jessie fits so well in Toy Story 2. I personally love it more than Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 is obviously the bigger movie and the better movie, and I acknowledge that. I just like Toy Story 2 personally better. But like, I have no problem with Jessie being the main character of this. I just wish we found a way to incorporate Buzz and Woody a little bit more, especially together. I know they went off on their own paths at the end of Toy Story 4, but it's Buzz and Woody at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've established that at this point. But yeah, I didn't mind the Jessie.
And I thought it was weird that we kind of had them at odds a little bit about who was in charge and all this stuff, and then that kind of just went away for whatever reason. I don't remember them having this like talk about who was in charge, and did that
it always just made it like for me it was just more
resolved
like a comedic
itself.
It was more of just like a comedic argument that it just kind of resolved itself. And
but did it resolve itself, or did they just have did they have that conversation, like a heart to heart about it? I don't remember, guys. We saw this a week ago, and I'm so sorry.
I don't think so. No,
I don't think they
had
ever
that thing
had
where they were like
heart-to-heart
talking about
it.
who's the sheriff and Woody put the star on himself.
Yeah.
And I feel like from there they just started executing the plan. Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they could have given Woody and Buzz a little bit more to do than kind of chase Jessie or look for Jessie the entire movie, because we obviously had a whole horde of Buzzes doing something the whole movie.
I like that, dude. I saw some people didn't like the army of Buzzes. I'll be honest, take that out of the movie and I might have liked it less. I kind of really enjoyed it. I thought they were comedic.
I liked it.
I liked the little moment where our Buzz got to be like, oh, by the way, Zurg, he's our dad. Oh, because that was obviously a moment back in Toy Story 2. I like that. And they actually had like a cool little role helping save the day. They weren't just there just because. And it also kind of reminded me of Toy Story 2 because there was like all those buzzes in that movie, and we got to see this whole
there
army
were a
of high
couple
tech
of Star
buzzes,
Wars
which I thought was
references.
fun.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool too. There's a way for toys to, I don't know, keep up, still be relevant because there are toys that have technology in them. And I thought it was a cool way to incorporate that, how you can have kind of like the best of both worlds. And when the buzzes in the end credit scene came down to all the little kids in the playground, even the teacher, whoever that was. But gosh, I feel like I kind of lost my train of thought.
What
I
did
was
you
thinking
think
about
about
something.
What did you think about the overall? We knew coming in this was going to be the toys versus technology, this lily pad. But at the end of the movie, I guess the point was that you can have toys and you can have tech, and tech can be a part of your life, but it's just important to put it aside at sometimes and still go out into the real world. And I feel like Tim Allen and Tom Hanks were kind of talking about that, doing interviews leading up to this. I feel like I saw that and kind of the message leading in and what you're going to take out of this movie. I don't know, the lily pad was a fun little antagonist, I guess. It's not like for me at 27 years old, I left with some life changing. Wow, the story, the message of this movie really changed my life. But I could also see as a little kid, this who's an iPad kid who's all on their iPad all the time might watch this movie and be like, oh, you know what? I want to do what Buzz and Woody did and what Jesse did and go find a real friend and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that it was a really cool narrative and a really cool way to take these toys as they've grown up with us, because I mean, when Toy Story 1 came out, technology was not in the equation, and it's kind of like this franchise has grown with us, and it's staying relevant with the times by introducing a storyline like this. And I do really appreciate that, because I think there are a lot of things to be said about how young kids are being exposed to screens and the effect that screen time can have on children as well. Part of that being Jesse constantly saying throughout this movie, it's like blaming technology for kids growing up too fast. And I think that's absolutely a correct statement.
Yeah, 100%.
It's absolutely a correct statement. And I don't think they ever at any point in this movie make her go back on that. No. Technology does make kids grow up too fast. It does. It really does. It exposes them to things that they're not meant to be exposed to. But obviously what we get, where we go by the end of this movie, is that there is a balance that you can have between screen time and kids still being kids. So I did enjoy that. I liked that is a point that they made.
I couldn't help but think, like, while I was watching it too, like, well, not while I was watching it, more after, and obviously the whole message of this movie that you can have both, and just, as I already said, but, like, I feel like our kids that are our age now, like when we were growing up, I feel like we had a good balance for the most part, because we had technology, but it wasn't what it is today. Like,
it wasn't social media.
No, it wasn't social media. We had TV, we had freaking our DSs and our PlayStation 2s and this, that, and the other, but, like, if you thought on June 25th back in 2006, maybe at 7:30 at night, but at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I would be inside. Like, that would never happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have no idea what these kids are doing nowadays.
Right.
So,
and the very least, we weren't communicating with other people online at a young age.
No.
Not at all.
Hopefully not.
I mean, no.
Hopefully not.
I mean, my first phone was a freaking Nextel that my dad used for work. And the only person I could communicate with was my dad. I could literally beep my dad like a walkie-talkie Nextel, beep my dad, and that's it. And then after that, I had a flip phone. It was one that, like, slid up.
Yeah. And I didn't get a phone until I was, like, 7th grade.
Yeah,
and that was still same. like a I think a BlackBerry something. I don't even know what it was.
I think I was in 6th or 7th grade or something like that when I got my first phone. But I did like that in the end they had Lily Pad be on the toy side, and they're like, Lily's one of us. Like, Lily really does have the kids' best interest in heart.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that, because social, technology isn't meant to ruin your kids. That's not its purpose, but it very well can. I guess that's kind of what Lily learned as well. Like, oh, maybe I'm not the best for Bonnie all of the time. Like, there are bad things about technology and being online in that space. So I thought it was so cute the way that Bonnie and Blaze became friends.
Yeah.
And I love that they had similar interests, but they were both struggling to make friends. And I don't know, it was just really cute. It was really heartwarming. I think the big moment in the movie, because before I went to the movie, everyone kept talking about how it made them cry, they were sobbing. And I think the moment everyone was crying at was when Jessie found out that her first kid, Emily, named her daughter after Jessie, named her daughter Jessie. And I think that's when everyone was talking about they were crying. But for me, I think the bigger moment, the bigger sad and like very heartfelt moment was when Bonnie was being cyberbullied by those little girls.
Oh, yeah, that sucks too.
Like that's, I think that is way more of a tearjerker moment. I obviously understand that that is such a huge Pixar moment for Jessie to find out that she did have an impact on a child to the point where that child named her child after this toy that she loved so much growing up, because she thought she was abandoned, but she was just lost, but she didn't really know that. And to find out that that kid that you thought left you and didn't care about you actually grew up, never forgot about you, and named her kid after you, how sweet. I loved that. That's a really cool moment. Yeah. I loved that they had Blaze living in the same place that Emily lived. It was adorable. It really was. So
like
there's a lot of things
I think the moment that everybody was crying at was this, because you were like, I certainly wasn't crying at this moment.
I wasn't crying. No, I did not cry.
You wouldn't catch me fucking dead crying in the movie theater.
It's not true. It's not true. I don't know if I'm gonna cry, or you guys. I think the last time I cried.
I was literally just about to ask you, when's the last time you cried in a movie? Or watching anything?
Endgame.
Fair enough.
It was Endgame when Iron Man died. So the last time I cried was 2019. Not the last time I cried in general, no. The last time I cried in a movie theater while watching a movie was 2019 when Iron Man died.
I don't know why this made me think of it, but I know you've seen those posts. That's like a legendary post that resurfaces every now and then as like a meme, and people are like, dude, people were passing out at the end of Infinity War and somebody's getting wheeled out of like the movie theater. I know you've seen this before. I'll send it to you the next time I see it.
Well, I don't understand what you said.
Like, that Infinity War is so crazy that people were like passing out in the theater. I know you were talking about Endgame, but it made me think of Infinity War.
Was it? Were people actually passing out in the theater? Oh, I don't think I've seen that. I can't lie to you.
No, you've definitely seen it. But all right, listen, Toy Story 5 overall, it's a good time. It's a good time. I think I'm not going to be surprised if they make a Toy Story 6. Clearly, at this point, if they have a story that they think is worth telling, they're going to do it. And Toy Story always does well. I mean, clearly, look at the box office. And I feel like I haven't seen anybody dog on this movie at all. I mean, at the end of the day,
no. I think
anybody dogging on a Toy Story movie that hard.
Actually, our friend of the podcast, Galactic Gabby, did not like the movie.
I forgot about that.
Remember?
You're right.
Yeah. She wasn't the biggest fan of the movie. She did like a lot of parts, I think, but she was lower on the movie than we expected her to be. But I wouldn't be mad if they made a Toy Story 6. I also want to say this movie was visually, it was so beautiful. So well done.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I don't expect anything else from Disney Pixar at this time, at this point. Yeah. But it was so stunning. I thought all the colors and like that's what I want to see in live action, dude. I love the colors and animation.
Don't get any ideas with saying Toy Story and live action in the same sentence.
How many times have I said, I don't want to see Toy Story in live action. I want colors to translate in live action.
Oh, I agree. When we get to tomorrow's segment, talk about Supergirl, we're going to talk about colors.
Yeah, we are. Because remember how much of a breath of fresh air Superman and Fantastic Four was?
Oh, I want to live in that all the time.
Right? Before those movies, it felt like it was only possible to achieve that level of color in animation. Yeah. And I just, Anyway,
even Deadpool and Wolverine, I know the suits, like, are a big part of it, but that movie, like,
I don't know, bro.
I feel like it's...
Where were they?
I'm not saying it's Fantastic Four, but...
The limbo area? Holy
The Void?
crap. Yeah, I understand it's supposed to be a barren wasteland, but ew, bro, ew.
Ew, she said.
Ew.
Alright, so... What's your Toy Story rankings? Like, your ranking of the Toy Story
all the
movies.
Toy Stories.
Boom, 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 boom.
Coming at the very, very bottom, and it'll always be at the bottom, is Toy Story 4. I think right above that, I would put Toy Story 5. But way above it. It's like 4's
There's
down
a gap.
here.
That's what you're saying. There's a gap.
There's a big gap. There's a big gap. And then I think I need desperately to rewatch Toy Story 2, but then for right now, I would put Toy Story 2 above Toy Story 5, and then I would put, oh my gosh, I have to think a lot about what my number one is. I would put Toy Story 1 above Toy Story 2, and then I personally would put Toy Story 3 as my number one Toy Story movie. I love that movie. I love that movie so much. But it probably can go back and forth between Toy Story 1 and 3 for me.
To be honest, there's no wrong answer between
I don't think
two.
there is either. Between the first 3, I don't think there is a wrong answer at all. But Toy Story 3 for me, oh my gosh, I just love it. I love it so much. Yeah. But I was the Toy Story kid. My mom, the only movie she's ever told me that I would make them play on repeat was Toy Story. I would be like, Woody Buzz, Woody Buzz, Woody Buzz, because I didn't know what Toy Story. I couldn't say the name of it. I would just say Woody Buzz, and they'd put it on.
Put your story on.
Woody Buzz
Woody
on loop.
Buzz.
And I had I had the toys. I had everything. I had every toy that was in Toy Story. It was great. It was great. It was a great time. So, yeah, I loved this movie.
Well, you didn't ask, but my ranking. It's all right, guys. I got it. It would be Toy Story 4 at 5, Toy Story 5 at 4. There's probably a gap. Same thing here. I don't know. Toy Story 4 was just like, all right. Honestly, this is some people might think it's a hot take. I don't think there's a wrong answer between the first 3, but like I'm putting Toy Story 3 at 3, and then Toy Story 2 at 2, and Toy Story 1 at 1. Like I don't know. I personally,
That's
I said earlier, I acknowledge that Toy Story 3 is a better movie than Toy Story 2, 100%. Mm-hmm. But I just personally like Toy Story 2 more. And I love Toy Story 3. There's no wrong answer here. That's just personally how it'd go. Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, 5, and 4. Those are my personal rankings of the Toy Story movies.
I do have to say, before we move on, that I know the only con that I've given so far is kind of how Woody and Buzz were handled in this movie. Another thing I would say, because obviously I gave it a 7 out of 10. Another thing I would say is that
I have a con too. Sorry.
I think that the writing was a little bit messy, because at one point, I didn't really love the poopy potty toy and the hippo and I understand that they needed those 3 characters to make Jessie warm up to technology. But at the end of the day, I thought it was so weird when Jessie pushed poopy potty toy over. What is he called? Smarty?
I don't know. Smarty Pants? Smarty
yeah.
I don't know.
When she pushed Smarty over, and then they got back up and she ran away, and they're just like, Jessie, we love you. Jessie, like there was no apology, there was no big moment. It was kind of like Whiplash. Like they just got up, they're like, I'm okay. No, Jessie, don't go. We love you. We love you. It was weird to me.
I don't even remember. Was there a moment? Was there not?
No. I don't know. It was weird. And I think maybe initially when Smarty got up, she was like, I'm sorry, you're not the problem, it's me, or something like that. I don't know. It just didn't feel very well resolved for me. I think a lot of things didn't feel resolved in this movie, except for how Jessie felt about technology at the end of the day. And Jessie feeling like she actually was worthy and did have an impact on a child, obviously. But yeah, that was kind of my thing. I didn't think very much of what Smarty said was funny. I kind of found him annoying more than funny. I thought the buzzes were way funnier than anything else in this movie.
The buzzes were hilarious. I think Conan voiced them. I thought that was funny. Yeah, I liked when they did like the cut, and it was like the toys are actually acting out what they're playing, and they gave the Smarty Conan's hair. I thought that was funny.
That was funny, and oh my gosh, Bullseye dancing with Jessie and talking and stuff, that was funny too. Yeah. It was really cool.
The one thing I was going to say as a con, and this isn't even like my con, I just saw somebody say this online, and I was like, dude, I totally agree with that. They should have treated the aliens, whatever, those classic alien toys that are so synonymous with Toy Story. They should have been treating them this whole time like they're the Minions, bro. Like, they should have been monopolizing them and putting them in such a better position in these movies to shine. And I'm like, dude, you're so right. That's like a whole nother franchise within Toy Story waiting to be tapped into. I saw that online and I was like, yo, this person's cooking, dude. And
it is true.
It's a con to this movie because they were like in like a scene just like standing there.
Yeah, it does suck that the last, like all the toys that we know and love got nothing for this movie. The only pro of that was that I didn't have to deal with Forky and his wife the whole movie. Thank God. Forky's the worst thing to ever come out of frickin' Toy Story. I can't even tell you. But he is that bad, actually. But, you know, I think that's all my cons. Yeah. Like, it's just, I don't really have anything glaringly wrong with this movie. It's just not, but the story's not perfect. And it didn't land us to where I was like, wow, this is one of the greatest Toy Story movies. It's not. And I just don't feel comfortable giving it an 8, 9, or 10 because it's not one of the greatest Pixar movies either. It would be pretty low behind some other movies. So yeah, I think the story could have been written a little bit better, a little bit less messy, but it was still a fun time. It really was. It just kind of felt like Jessie was the only toy that had care taken when they were writing her story, and then everyone else was just there for comedic relief.
Well, yeah, it was just a Jessie story. That's I don't know.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it was it was not demeaning what you're saying, but you're just like she said you're the only. Jessie feels like she's the only one who had care taken, and I'm like, well, I agree, but I think that's just because it was her story.
Yeah, I understand that. But did you feel like it was Woody's story in Toy Story 2? Did you feel like they didn't take care of Jessie or Bullseye or Stinky Pete or Buzz in that movie?
Stinky Pete.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, listen, I think that goes back to what we said earlier. I just could have used more of, like, Woody and Buzz. And then I feel like if I got more of them in this movie, I wouldn't feel like how you feel, where it's just like everyone was just kind of written around
They gave us
Jessie.
a good bit of them. They just weren't doing anything of substance. Like, nothing they did mattered. They were just trying to find Jessie, and she didn't need them to find him, and we knew that the whole time.
They had some heroic moments. I'm, like, trying to defend it at this point.
I know, like, what are you doing? When did they have heroic moments?
They literally helped freaking rescue her. What do you mean?
She didn't need rescuing.
They literally were, like, on the truck. They were going to get Smarty Pants or whatever. Or not Smarty Pants, Lily Pants.
Lily!
Freaking, I don't even remember who was on this damn truck.
The horde of buzzes had more to do with the final act of the story than freaking Woody and Buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So 7 out of 10.
We're talking way too long about Toy Story. I got nothing else to say.
I think we're good. Yep, I think we're good on Toy Story. We'll see you when we talk about Supergirl.
Yeah. All right, so there's going to be an edit here, guys. We're going to film the next half of this episode tomorrow. You guys will be seeing this on Saturday. We're about to be joined by a guest. We'll be talking about Supergirl, so go watch it. That way you can watch our episode of the podcast on Saturday. We'll see you then.
Welcome to the Supergirl portion of this episode. There's no other way to say it. You just sat through our whole review of Toy Story 5. Sorry if we rambled for too long, because I feel like this is the part of the episode that you guys really want to see. We're here to talk all things Supergirl. Noah and I have seen it, and to help us out in the discussion, we have a very, very special guest. I'm so happy to have her here. She's a singer-songwriter. She's an aspiring film journalist. She's gonna have, like, the brightest future in the entire world, and I'm just so excited to hear her thoughts on Supergirl, on her time at the premiere, her first red carpet premiere. So here is Kaleigh Talty.
Hi.
Hey, we're gonna put her back in the middle. There you go.
Yeah, in the middle. Yay! Kaleigh, thanks so much for joining us.
I'm so excited to be here talking about this. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy that we can, like, give you a long form platform where you can really just get deep into every nitty gritty part of Supergirl. Yeah, all the thoughts. We're not constrained to the time limits of Instagram or TikTok. Like, we can do like a whole breakdown on Supergirl, which is what we like to do here. So we're gonna do a couple of icebreaker questions with Kaleigh first, so that you guys can get to know her. But before we get into that, Kaleigh, do you want to plug your socials so they know where to find you?
So you could find me on either Instagram or TikTok. It's just at Kaleigh Talty. Nothing crazy, nothing too special, just my name. So if you want to find me there, I'm there. But literally, I think it's also connected to Facebook and Threads and all that as well. So wherever you're at, I'm there.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And we'll have all of her socials. Yeah, it'll be in the description. You guys can't miss it. You don't want to miss Kaleigh's content. It's, like, so much fun. It's the best ever.
Yes.
Thank you.
Noah, do you want to start off the icebreaker questions?
Who, me? Yeah. So we always ask people their favorites, this, that, and the other anytime somebody comes on here. Obviously, you're a big Supergirl girl, so we'll push her aside for the second and just focus on everything else.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite superhero and non-superhero movie and show ever? Because obviously that's a vast, we've all seen a lot of movies,
question.
a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great question. Okay. For like a non-superhero movie, I would say like I love the movie Queer, directed by Luca Guadagnino. It is probably first, it's either 50-50. People either completely understand it and they're like, oh my God, I feel like my mind was just open. I'm sobbing, just crazy. And that's me. I watched it like 3 times when it first came out. It was like
Really?
theaters that it was in, and I was like, oh, Drew Starkey. I was like, I'm sobbing. Don't do this to me right now.
Is it Drew Starkey? Oh my goodness. I don't think I've seen it.
Daniel Craig and Drew Starkey, and it's set in like the 50s, and it's this difficult relationship where one is open about who he is and the other one can't be. And, oh my God. Gut wrenching. It's the same guy who made Call Me by Your Name. So if you get the gist,
Yep.
But favorite superhero movie? Maybe The Dark Knight. Just because there is some problems that I have with like Christian Bale's Batman. I don't think my hot take is that there hasn't been the perfect live action Batman. But I think his Bruce Wayne, his training, all of it, I talk about it with my dad all the time. It's the best we've gotten in live action. And I really like all of his gadgets as well. I love that he leans into that as well. Like he has all these different gadgets that he uses throughout the film. So I would say probably The Dark Knight. I really enjoy it.
Wow. So do you have like a certain opinion on the Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman?
Am I gonna get canceled for my opinion?
Not around here. Before Lady asked, I was like, Lady, what about your thoughts of the Batman?
Let's lock in, because I think I'm gonna get canceled and people are gonna hate me, and I hope that DC doesn't get mad at me. While I think it is a very interesting take for Elseworlds, okay? A grounded version of Batman, fine. Is it my favorite take? No, I don't like Robert Pattinson as Batman. Sue me. Okay.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I don't think that he was the perfect choice for Batman. I think he would have been great as maybe a villain in like the MCU, because he has that like, look to him. Like he could give a good performance, and he's so versatile. But I don't think he's a good Batman or Bruce Wayne. I don't like his take on Bruce Wayne. I don't like that he's this person who's unsure of himself and kind of emo. Like, I hate saying the word emo. He's this impressive person. And Bruce is supposed to be like, I'm confident and I know who. And
that's what I think of. I think of Batman animated series all the time when I think of Bruce Wayne. And it's totally opposite in the Batman.
When I think of Batman, I think of Kevin Conroy. That is who I want, like, if anyone can, like, and rest in peace. If anyone can embody anything, I think we need someone like that for live action. And I'm not saying that Robert Pattinson isn't great, but do I like the fact that his suit looks like that? No. Like, I think it shows too much of his face. Christian Bale, it was like this, not great, but it has to come down so you can't see the jaw. That's the whole mix of it all. And why is the Batmobile a generic car?
I agree. We gotta change this up.
Like, it's crazy. But I would say, like, I just am not a fan of the Batman, but I am interested in seeing what they're going to do in part 2, because I like the Penguin show. I'm a fan of his Batman.
I was going to say, like, I can't contribute to the Batman conversation at all because I haven't seen any Batman media, which is crazy, and a lot of people don't like me for that, and I also do talk about it a lot, how Batman has just never really interested me as much as other heroes that I'm like very invested in. So I haven't delved into Batman very much. I do want to watch The Dark Knight just because of how much everyone just sings its praises. That is a film that I feel like I need to experience that film. Yeah, so that's definitely one I want to see. The Batman, it's like you're pulling my teeth trying to get me to watch that movie.
It's almost a bit on this podcast. Like, when is she going to watch the Batman?
I grew up with a father who is invested in everything Batman. I mean, I've posted on my channel once or twice. We have a theater room built downstairs that is a hidden bat cave. So if anyone can say, like, oh, we don't like the Batman really, like, I feel like it can be us. But we don't, like, we're not going to discredit it and say, like, oh, it's, like, terrible. But it's not Batman. Like, it's not a Batman. Right. It's not Batman.
Just not your favorite adaptation. And I think that's so fair. That's definitely a fair criticism to have. I mean, Noah's seen it. And I don't know, Noah, did you kind of be like, it was okay?
No, I liked it. I was a little shocked when I first turned it on. I was like, yo, this is a 3-hour movie. I wasn't expecting that. But besides that, I was like, yo, I like this movie. But I also agree. Bruce Wayne very, and like you said, you hate to use the word emo, but he is very like dark and depressing and emo in that movie, and it's just not what I think of when I think of Bruce Wayne. Granted, I don't have this vast knowledge of Batman, but what I have seen, and I love the Batman animated series, I can't help but my mind goes there, like I said.
Yeah, and my number one problem with it, he doesn't do his own detective work. And no one has
It's true.
talked about this.
Yeah.
Everyone gives him the answers throughout the film.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Solving the clues for him. And the fact that he didn't even know what was going on by the very end, like, it just frustrated me because that's who he is. He's the world's greatest detective. Why is everyone giving you the answers?
Batman with prep time.
That's so odd. That's so odd. Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna try and hate on it. Like, I love DC. I love everything that they are doing over there right now. But yeah, like, I'm more excited for Batman the Brave and the Bold. I want to know what they're doing with DCU's Batman.
That's what I was about to say. So are you in the camp like you would much rather just have a different Batman in the DCU opposed to merging the two?
Oh
I don't even know if how much of a conversation that is anymore. But
please, for the love of God.
Wouldn't that be so weird? I feel like
God, no.
Yeah,
It just
I can't
doesn't work.
imagine.
He's not a fantastical Batman. We need a fantastical Batman for the DCU.
Right.
He has to have a little bit of brighter colors and all of, I want the full utility belt. Give me the bright yellow utility belt.
Yeah, why not?
I'm about that. Bring the colors to life. Let's go.
Yeah.
I want him to build his own Batmobile like he did in the comics. Like, I don't want none of this crap where it's like, oh, he can't take on someone who is powerful and has powers and is fantastical. We need a fantastical Batman. So.
Yeah, and I think that's so fair because how can you even get excited about the Justice League or Batman versus Superman if they ever want to do something like that again when you have David Cornsweat's fantastical, to use your words, Superman, and then you just have an okay Batman? How can you build hype around a project like that? I don't think it would work. Yeah, I think you're so right. What about a show? Do you have a show that your favorite superhero show, non-superhero show?
I grew up on The Flash, and I got to actually meet Grant Gustin a couple months ago.
Really?
I think I remember you posted about that. You know what? Now that you're saying
that's
it.
so cool.
I met him and Tom Welling all in one day, and that was just like, it was so overstimulating.
Oh yeah, I remember the picture of you like this, right?
Like like I'm standing with Superman, like
that's so I love those pictures.
Yeah,
that's
I would
so
say
great.
I grew up on The Flash, loved it, and then I loved Supergirl for the first 2 seasons, and that is it. After that, no.
How many seasons did it run?
4, I think.
Okay. Yeah. When it had a drop off, a fall off. That's not good. That's not good. Well,
you hate to see that.
Yeah.
Do you to move on from that? And I feel like maybe we know the answer to this question, but we're gonna ask it anyway. Is there a fictional character that you see yourself in the most?
Oh. Other than obviously Supergirl.
Of course. That's who you are.
I feel like every day I feel like I embody her because she's a little messy. She carries pain, but betters herself every day, and I admire her so much for that. And I aspire to be someone who's able to do that. And I think I handle myself pretty well. But other than that, maybe growing up, you ever see the show like Star versus the Forces of Evil? I would probably say
I've heard of it, but I never watched it. Butterfly?
She's Star Butterfly, princess from another dimension, and she's just ADHD queen. And I saw so cute her as a kid, so I'd probably say her as well. She's just so cute and out there, and I was like that as a kid as well. Like, I wasn't regular; I was a little weird. I had weird interests, and she's very hyper. Like, that's how I was as a kid. So I would say her as well. I really like that character.
I love that. That is so cute. Oh my goodness. I need to do a little deep dive into Star because I haven't seen it. I think I would like to
watch it start to finish. It's so funny, and the dynamic between her and this kid Marco, who's from Earth, greatest thing that ever happened in television history.
I need to see that. I need to see it. So I had to ask you this question because I feel like I have a big opinion on who my favorite character is that hasn't had their time in Marvel. They haven't had a great live action, debut. They haven't really been explored very much. So I wanted to ask you, who's your favorite character that hasn't been explored yet in live action DC media?
Oh, that's so difficult because there's so many cool people. I I know that we got a Stargirl TV show. Was it good? No. I want her in the DCU. I think the
Okay.
girl that they casted for her in the show was phenomenal, but the writing wasn't there. I think James Gunn could do a lot with her, and she's so much fun to work with. Like all of her stuff in the comics is really fun. And while I haven't dove into her as much as I want to from the stuff that I have gotten into in my collection, she's really cool. She just seems like a bright light and another really cool like female lead for young girls
Yes.
to look up to.
Mm-hmm.
Her. And I know like technically she's had a show, but that's CW. We're gonna discredit.
Yeah.
Discredit
We're moving on.
CW.
We're
Yeah.
just gonna move past it. It didn't last long. I think that could be someone that they make a bigger character because James Gunn is so good at taking smaller characters that people don't really know and making them into these big phenomenons that people
Yeah.
love. I think that he
Yeah.
did that with her.
Literally
That's
Guardians.
so true. Yep, that's literally Guardians.
Yeah,
You're
literally
so right.
Guardians.
Yes.
It was because of James Gunn, oddly enough,
Yep.
that I became so obsessed with the Guardians of the Galaxy as a kid. So
And I feel like you're not the only. So many people had their eyes open to the Guardians of the Galaxy and just how cool they are from that movie. I mean, we talk about that all the time, just how cool it was what James Gunn and Marvel was able to achieve when Guardians came out, and it had so many doubters and everything. So it would be cool to see him kind of do that again with Stargirl or with anyone that hasn't really had their time to shine in the DCU. So that's really cool. What a great answer. We have one more question for you, and it actually moves completely away from all things media as far as like visual media, because I wanted to ask you about this next wave of music that you're working on. And I wanted to ask you if you could describe it in just a couple words. How would you describe this next wave of songs we're going to get from Kaleigh Talty?
I went through a breakup.
I'm only laughing because she laughed.
I'm working on myself.
And you know what? I'm so excited though, because you guys, I'm a huge fan of Kaleigh's music. I'm not even making that up when I tell you that. If I was on Spotify and you could see who your top listeners were, I'd be up there. I'd seriously be up there. Kaleigh's on a bunch of my playlists. I love your music so much. So I'm not happy about what you've had to go through and about how difficult the situation like that is, but I am really excited just to hear what you have to say about this kind of like portion of your life that you're going through.
The songs, because I'm recording them I think this weekend and on Thursday this like coming week.
Cool.
My producer, he's already heard everything because I sent him demos of me playing it just with my guitar each song. And he said it's the most vulnerable I've ever been, the most honest I've ever been. And I think it's because when you love someone so much, but know that you have to part ways, like it's not going to work, even if you don't want to accept it. That's when I feel like I get my best writing, is because like I'm just telling the world like, hey, this is me. This is how it started. I felt really good. This is how it's ending. Two very different things.
Yeah.
And I still have love for this person. And, we're going to be friends. Like, I know that eventually, not right now necessarily, but eventually we will be. And I think this will be my love letter to him, being like, I will always care about you. And I'm sad that this didn't work out. But like, I had to tell my side and get my feelings out in this project. And I think I did it in the perfect way. So I feel good about it.
So exciting. That's so exciting. I'm so ready to hear this music from you, because I've just been patiently waiting for new music for a while now. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's excited about new Kaleigh music, right, guys?
I've been getting a lot of DMs actually, which I wasn't expecting, because it's like, oh, I'm a journalist, I talk about that, but it is something I do on the side, and people are like, where's the music, Kaleigh?
Where's the music, Kaleigh?
I was like, I didn't know you guys wanted that. Sure. Okay, here you go.
Yeah. Well, one thing starts getting more attention, and everybody else is like, wait, you do other stuff too? I want to know more about this. So
that's super cool. Super cool. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. I was so excited to ask you about your music a little bit, but I think we have thoroughly broken the ice.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's time to get into the Supergirl review. Noah Nation, what do you think?
I'm thinking that. Before we even get into the movie, I feel like we have to talk about, though, like, your journey leading up until the Supergirl premiere, of just like, you kind of became the Supergirl girl on social media. And I thought it was just like inevitable 6 months ago, like, oh, she'll be at the Supergirl premiere. And then lo and behold, you were at the Supergirl premiere, and I believe New York City this past week.
Yes.
And obviously, there's probably a lot to talk about, so you can just kind of glance over some of it if you want. But like, how does it feel like putting in all that work on social media, literally putting out there like, this is my goal, I'm trying to be there, you guys are gonna know me, and probably get sick of me for being the Supergirl girl, but I'm gonna make this happen. And then when you're actually there on that carpet, like, how does it feel like, man, I really made this happen? I'm here because of the work I put in.
I still can't believe it happened, to be completely honest, because I started this journey of documenting, content of me talking about, oh, I'm a journalist. I'm in college. Like now I'm in my senior year. I'm heading into my senior year of college, like final couple semesters. This is it. And I wanted to document that journey of like, oh, I already do this at school. Now let me do this online. And then it just started taking off in a way I wasn't expecting, of people being like, wow, you're so young and you're, setting these goals and it's so cool. So when I started posting about Supergirl, which was like during Superman, I was like, guys, we're getting a Supergirl movie. You know how long I've waited for this? Like younger me freaking out. And after everything with Superman, I was like, oh yeah, like I am so ready for my favorite character to get the justice she deserves on screen.
Yeah.
So I started posting about it. I really didn't think I was going to get to that premiere. And I had made videos. I made that Elle Woods inspired video being like, this should invite me, DC, and I'm going to show
it was so good. I loved that video.
Didn't think that was going to go anywhere. I just did it for fun because people are like, you have to ask them. But yeah, no, I was reached out by my friend Shanice. Shout out Shanice. She works for Access Hollywood. And she's like, hey, we got a team of people going with Access Hollywood. And you're the first person I thought of like, if I could bring anyone and get them in on this little thing, let's get you there. And I couldn't believe that she asked me that. I was like, that's a huge, first of all, Access Hollywood, that's insane.
Yeah, that's insane.
Access Hollywood all the time. Still tune in. I tune in for her interviews 24/7. So I was like, are you asking me for real to go with you? She's like, yeah, like let's do this, Kaleigh. Let's get you there. And so glad I said yes, even though I was nervous, like out of my mind, because being there, getting on that carpet, it was like surreal. I mean, people knew who I was, first of all, which I was like, why? How does anyone know who I am? This is not my movie. I'm a small journalist. Please, like, this is not real.
That's so cool.
My hand being like, oh my God, I've seen your stuff, la, la, la. I had my pictures professionally taken by Getty Images.
Isn't that so cool?
That's gotta feel
like the you made it thing. Like you have a Getty Images picture, I love that you made it your profile picture too. I was like,
I love it. And I got another one. It's like me and Drew in front of like a Waymo Supergirl car. So funny. Like all these images just don't feel real. There was fans there that had to sign up like weeks in advance to find out if they'll get in, and most of them knew me and asked for pictures, which I was not.
That's so cool. Oh my goodness. Well, it's not for lack of you campaigning for yourself, and I just love that you made it happen for yourself. That's very inspirational for a lot of people.
It's the power of manifestation.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't feel like you doubted yourself even for a second when you were posting about all of those things. At least it didn't seem like it with the way that you were posting, Even we all have that little bit of doubt that goes through our minds when we're
1,000%.
posting content and stuff. But at the end of the day, you knew who you were and you knew what you wanted and how you wanted to go about doing it. And you got yourself there. And I just think that's so cool. It's the coolest thing ever. Like, of course people knew you at the Supergirl premiere. Yeah. You are like the Supergirl,
So, like I was just like, oh yeah, like, hey, you want a picture?
It's strange.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like the first time that you've been a part of something like that where there's so many people that could possibly recognize you. So it's like
Comic-Cons, like, conventions and stuff, people know.
Exactly.
Right.
Not to that scale.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It was very different, but great, because it felt good to be there. I was like, this is my future. This is what I want to keep doing. But next time I want to be on the press line. Get me there.
Right.
I could have done so many things on it. I had questions prepared just in case. I was like, I don't know what the situation is, but we're going to see when we get there. But I know for a fact, like, Man of Tomorrow, I said it to Millie Alcock herself. I was like, I'm going to be here for the press line. I'm going to be talking to you again, just like with the camera and a mic. Just letting you know, just like telling you now.
That's so cool.
Going to be us.
Yes.
But yeah, I I want to keep doing that. I want to go there. I want to talk about films. I want to have little sit downs with people, talk about it. So it was cool to just even be there at the after party talking to all these amazing people about what I want to be doing.
Yeah, that is so cool. Oh my goodness. I could not be happier for a person that had made something for themselves happen. It's just so cool. So cool to see that happen for you. Noah, do we have anything else?
I mean, not about the premiere, no. I mean, I think you laid it out good there. I think we should probably just talk about Supergirl.
I think so
the
too.
movie itself.
Do you think we should start with our ratings out of 10 and
Oh,
then get into our thoughts? Okay. Do you think we should do that?
Let's just
we can start there.
lay it out there.
Yeah. Okay, we'll lay it out there.
Might be higher than the both of yours.
I think it might be too.
Yeah.
But it's so fair though. It's so fair because you're coming from a different place.
Because there's, positive, negatives, all that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I will say too, before we talk about anything else, and I haven't talked to Laney about this movie at all.
We haven't.
But I know just how we are. I know this movie's getting way too much hate online. We might have some stuff to say about the movie, a little critique here and there, but this movie's getting torched by some people, not everybody, but some people, and it's so not deserved.
It's not true. Yeah, for people to say that this movie is horrendous or not even watchable, it's just so far from the truth. So far from the truth. So that's not what you're gonna get from this podcast, you guys, in this portion of the episode. So if you're looking for that kind of criticism, you're not gonna find it here.
Get the heck out of here with me, I'll tell you that much.
Not with Kaleigh here. She's like, not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
Not on her watch. Do you we'll count it down and then Noah and I will say our ratings out of 10 and then you say your rating out of 10?
Yep.
Okay.
I actually think mine might be even higher than Laney's. Now, because I don't know, I'm interested to see what Laney's gonna say.
Okay.
Because I'm basing this right how we did our Toy Story one, and I was like, well, I did this on Letterboxd, so what is this equivalent to out of 10?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, loosely in my head, this is what it equivalents to. All right.
Yeah, ready? I do the same thing. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
7 out of 10.
5 out of 10. I give it a 5. I give it a 5. I give it a 5. I know it's bad. It sounds bad. But I keep thinking about leaning toward a 6 as well. I could go back and forth. For me, I always end up higher on movies on my second watch. I think it's because I go into movies a lot of the time with certain expectations. And then the second time I watch it, I'm just more free of what I'm expecting. I don't know. But as it stands right now, I'd probably say 5 out of 10. And I'm not even trying to be harsh about it. But before I even talk about it, Kaleigh, what is your rating of Supergirl out of 10?
So I would give it a 7.5 out of 10.
All right.
That's where I'm at. I would want to lean toward an 8, but I don't think I can at this point. I've seen it twice, so it's I think I know from just seeing it at the premiere, because that was a lot of adrenaline. I walked out of it being like, that was a 9. That was
naturally.
Yeah.
Forget it's Supergirl. It could have been any movie. It's just the first premiere experience. You're like, what am I doing here?
On an adrenaline rush, so excited. But then
of course,
watching it again, I was like, okay, yes, let's be real. This is a 7.5 for me. But there's so many positives that outweigh the negatives, and that's why I'm at a 7.5 instead of lower.
Yeah. So. Yep. That's so fair. And I feel like the further away I get from a movie, it always ticks up a little bit. So I think my official rating will probably land around a 6 out of 10. And I think the only reason, we can start with non-spoiler-ish thoughts since it just came out. The only reason is that I just really, really wanted the writing to be better than it was. I was really expecting something that felt more natural and seamless as Superman's storyline felt. And kind of halfway through the movie, when we got to the third act, I was kind of like, man, I am not invested in what's going on very much at all right now, as much as I want to be. I was like, I feel like I don't really know where we're going right now, and I feel like the climax of this movie isn't where it should have been, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where I land with it. I thought that the visuals were really great as far as the aliens and the way that they looked. That was really cool to me. I thought that they looked great. I thought she looked perfect in the suit. Little upset that she wasn't really in the suit too much. That's a spoiler, but it's being said online. I'm sorry that I'm a little disappointed that she wasn't in it, but that's not even a reason that I would bring it down lower when I rate this movie. I thought the score was it's just a personal thing. I thought the score was okay. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. We'll talk about the needle drop that everyone keeps talking about later.
I do want to talk about that.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about that later because it has to be said. It has to be addressed.
Mhm.
I don't think I can say much of anything else without getting into spoilers. So it's one of y'all's turn.
I mean, listen, I'll just give my 2 quick cents before we talk about spoilers. I think going in, I didn't have, like, super high expectations. Not low or bad expectations. I just knew, like, this is the second movie into the DCU, and I know it's not going to be Superman, because pretty much everybody, well, I won't say everybody, but most of us walked out of Superman thinking we just saw one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, and I still feel that way a year later. So to compare that to Supergirl would have been unfair. I went in, and I left out, and I was just kind of like, all right, this is a good movie, and I don't think it like moves the needle one way or another for the DCU in terms of it's thriving or it's failing, because it's certainly not failing. I just don't think we're necessarily anywhere in a different position than we were before this movie came out. I think the next time it's going to be a resounding conversation amongst fans of whether the DCU's working out or not, because you're going to have that conversation until we get really deep into DCU, because it's still so new. I think the next time we're going to have that kind of conversation is next year when you get Man of Tomorrow, because it's a Superman movie and it's kind of an all-star cast. But I don't know, I heard some of the comparisons to early MCU movies before I went into this, and I was like, man, why does everybody keep bringing up like Iron Man 2 and the Incredible Hulk and Thor? I was like, what is that? What like what's the correlation there? And leaving, I kind of understand what people are trying to say. The people who are using it as not a harsh criticism, but just more as a comparison, because I mean, I don't hate any of those early MCU movies like Iron Man 2 and Thor and even Incredible Hulk. I know I'm higher on that than Laney. But, like, they're not the first Iron Man or the first Avengers, which are, like, the Superman movie in this case. They're movies that are good. They helped lay the foundation for the early stages of the MCU, and then I think it just continued to get better from there. And that's kind of how I feel about Supergirl. Is it the best movie in the world? Not necessarily, but I didn't think it was bad at all, honestly. And granted, like, me and Laney's DC knowledge isn't like super vast. We're way more Marvel people than DC, and it's just how it is.
We're both very much still new to it. Yeah. So it's not like Noah and I read the Woman of Tomorrow comic beforehand or anything like that. So when we say expectations, it doesn't even come from comic book knowledge. You know, we didn't even come expecting any kind of story that this film, we've been told, very much pulls from and is basically like a direct adaptation of Woman of Tomorrow, is it not?
I didn't say direct,
or it was supposed to be. Yeah. What I'm gathering from watching people's reviews that have read Woman of Tomorrow, that's what everyone's saying, is like, we thought it would be kind of a 1-to-1, and it was very much not so. So yeah, that's kind of like where Noah and I are coming from whenever we talk about this movie. Yeah,
those are my non-spoiler thoughts, and then we can talk about some more stuff in a little bit more in depth afterwards. But
yeah,
Kaleigh,
I would say, okay, I remember being a DC fan years ago in the gutter. All right, I've always
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate your apology. I've always been a DC and Marvel person. I've always loved both. But DC, you know, wasn't so great for a while, movies, but never comics-wise. Comics has always been, like, phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I read Woman of Tomorrow when it came out, and it was, like, I had gotten my hands on it, like, not like exactly when it came out, but it was, like, you know, months later, so I could have, like, all the issues and whatever. And I loved it. And I think what I missed from this movie is how bright the comic was. These cool,
oh my gosh, thank you. Yes.
Of the planets and the aliens. It's all colorful. She has these powerful moments where she's flying through space. I miss that in this. And I wanted that so bad. There were so many things out of the comic. It's such a great story. It's why I was so excited about it being brought to life. But we really just used these character names, and we didn't really follow the story to a T.
Yeah.
You know, there was things here and there, like 1 or 2 things, 3 things that I can think of from the comic that happened in the movie. But other than that, I'm like, oh, like this really wasn't an adaptation that you led us to believe it was, which is fine. I went into the premiere having heard from critics and whatever, early non-spoiler reviews saying it wasn't going to be a direct adaptation. So with that in mind, I went in with a more open mind about it.
That's good.
It still was a little disappointing. And I think I don't know. The villain just it didn't click for me. They changed so much about him. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a very strong villain. He was fine, but I didn't like him. And if you're gonna have a villain that's like a little more weak like that, then you have to have a strong script. And I don't know if the movie had that the whole time. I think for the
Mm-hmm.
first two acts they really had me, and then that final act it kind of was like a little dragged out, and I was like, I don't really know what's happening anymore.
Yeah.
But I will be able to go more in depth on that when we talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up the colors and the way that this movie was shot.
it.
Even the way that the movie's edited, I find so strange at a lot of different points in the movie. Just to start with the colors, Noah and I have always said on this podcast, why are comic book movies not bright and colorful? Superman and Fantastic Four were the biggest breaths of fresh
Oh,
air we have ever gotten. And when I was sitting in Supergirl, watching this really gray and muted and lack of color movie, I was like, we're regressing. This is regressing. This isn't what I was expecting from the
here's what I
direct following.
what I thought was gonna happen was like we're gonna see through Kara's point of view at the beginning. She's
Mm-hmm.
going through pain, so she's gonna
Mm-hmm.
see the world not like Clark, not bright,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
muted, whatever it is. She's very cynical.
Mm-hmm.
I thought in that third act when she put on that suit, I thought we were gonna like colors were gonna start getting brighter,
Yeah.
Yep.
everything changes, and it didn't happen because
Right.
that's the
Yeah.
only way that you can justify. Oh, it was
Yes.
darker in the beginning because she was going through this dark time. She can't
Mm-hmm.
accept herself. She doesn't feel like she belongs anywhere. Well, when she starts to realize who she can be and who she wants to become at the end, I
Mm-hmm.
thought that's what was going to happen. Like the
Yes.
color was going to shift to what it was like in Superman, but it didn't. And so I
Yeah.
think, yeah, the coloring for me was a little disappointing in
Yeah.
the end.
Yes, completely agree. It's totally justifiable when you're using the coloring to tell the story along the way. But
Mhm.
when it's just flat the whole time, then it becomes disappointing
Yeah.
and kind of irritating at a certain point. We've gotten so many comic book movies that lack color. Like at this point, I've gotten the fatigue. And then with the editing, I feel like when Kara was kind of first showing us her powers, and I'm not talking about the first, we're going to start getting into spoilers, I feel like, at this point. Do we have any more non spoilers? Do we have
Well,
any more
I'll throw this
non-spoilers?
out there
You throw
because
something
we were
in there.
talking about the adaptation of the comic to the movie.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
listen, I've been on this podcast plenty of times being like, I don't mind if they take stuff from comics, whether we're talking about Marvel or DC, take stuff from comics, but don't do it one to one. The biggest example of this is Civil War in the comics
Yeah.
isn't the same Captain America Civil War movie we saw in the movies, but that
Yeah.
movie is almost universally always on somebody's top 3, top 4 Marvel movies. It's one of their favorites. And I think that's a perfect example of, sure, you could take elements, but you don't always have to go one to one. But if you don't go one to one and the movie doesn't come out
Yeah.
meeting expectations, well, you can't be upset when people out there, when fans out there are like, well, why didn't you just do this for the comics? It's one thing if you surpass the comics, but if you didn't surpass the comic or the book, it's fair for fans to be like, well,
Yeah.
why didn't you just do this?
And they also promoted it, saying it was going to be this one-to-one. Why
Yeah.
are we talking about go get the comic book, go read it before this movie, if
Yeah.
it was gonna not follow any of the source
Yeah.
material?
They're like,
I
there's
know.
going to be elements.
That confused me. I was like, why are you telling all these people and hyping them up about this comic and this great story if that wasn't going to be the
Right.
exact
Mhm.
story you were
Right.
telling?
You're just setting yourself up for failure at that point and for disappointment at that point.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I feel like if you're just pulling from a story and you're using it as kind of like an outline or a guideline or a basis of your story, but not a one-to-one, like Noah said, you better hit it out of the park. when
Yeah.
when you're
Because the
using
comparisons are going to come. You can't avoid
Yeah.
it. If you're taking stuff from comics, it's just
Mhm.
going to come. And you're always taking stuff from comics because this is a comic book
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it's
So it's
true.
like, I don't know. I think it's just
but especially
it's
when
worth
you're
noting.
and especially when, like Kaleigh said, you're telling everyone this is the Woman of Tomorrow
Yeah.
movie.
Wasn't there a picture
You
of Millie
can't
on the
miss.
couch reading the comic like way back when they
Yes,
announced
when
her
they first
casting?
announced it. Oh
Maybe
my
not
God.
the way to announce her casting.
Even the writer of the comic was at the premiere. I'm like, why is he here promoting this if it was not going to follow the story? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something else. It really is something
We can get into
else.
spoilers now, Lady, if you had anything you
Okay.
wanted to kick it off with.
Yeah, so for the editing, after Supergirl's first fight, Kara's first fight with that weird alien thing outside of the bar, I'm talking after that, when she actually had her powers in space, when she finally got the feeling of the yellow sun again, and her displaying her powers was very much so not shown on screen. I thought that was very, very strange. Very weird way to introduce us to how powerful Kara is, and it does not do justice to her character at all.
Are we talking about the bar fight or the fight in the bus?
The bus, and then when she was in space and got the yellow sun back.
Because they did that shot in the bar fight where you didn't really see much of her beating everybody up. But I know you're talking about it. I got confused.
Okay, yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, I just think the scene in space, it was so weird. Like, yeah, we see her use her eye lasers, but we don't. Heat vision. Thank you. I was like, I can't remember the word.
Oh my goodness,
now.
We're exposing ourselves.
We're so exposed. I know, it's so bad. We're exposed. I'm sorry. You guys can kill me for that. Her heat vision. That's cool. And then when we're getting shots of her just passing through the windows on the bus, I'm like, I don't want to see. I want to see her actually rip out the engine. Yeah, that's so weird. I just thought that was a weird editing choice. So that's just one critique that I had of editing. Another weird editing thing, the slow-mo every 2 seconds in the final fight was really throwing me off. And like a couple times is fine, but doing it every single time, I'm like, all right, just let it play out. I'm begging you. Just let it play out, please.
Yeah. I want to see her beat somebody up.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So something I want to talk about during that scene is that song. So the song that they used as a cover, it is not the original song. And the original
I love the original song by Jimmy Eat World.
Why didn't we use it? Because it was punk. Like
it's the best song. Yes.
Sometime, like, why was this slow-mo? Like, I don't even know. It was like touchy-feely. I was like, no.
I was like, this feels like it should have played in the beginning of the movie, not the end of the movie. It's so not hype at all. And it translated so weird to the audience, obviously, because of all the discourse that we gotten from it. I know, the original song is so good. I love that song.
I don't even know. I was just pulling up Spotify. Like, I literally listened to it earlier.
Yes.
And I was like, this would have worked. Why did they use this cover?
It was a perfect song.
This is no hate towards the girl, because I've actually seen this poor girl, the singer, on TikTok, like, commenting, like, that was my song. And I'm like,
oh no.
I feel so bad. I'm like,
poor girl.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with her.
No.
Nothing to do with her.
But that was not the right needle drop there. Because even I was thinking back to Superman, when Superman, Clark he's rising out of the ashes of this building that fell.
So cool. Yes.
He starts playing. Why didn't we have that while Kara was
I think it's so weird, because I came out of this movie being like, did Supergirl have a theme? Or, you know what I mean? It just never resonated with me.
That's what I told Lady yesterday.
Never used.
Never used. That would have been the perfect time, like, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. And she's like,
yes.
Up. What were we thinking? I don't know. I hated that song choice. And I was like, even though, like, the song isn't bad, why did we use the original? Because that is so much more.
And the message of that song, like, fits, like, kind of the message of the movie.
Absolutely.
So I understand why they chose it, just not the version. They just didn't get the version right.
That was not my favorite thing.
It was not it. You got to use Jimmy Eat World's version of that song. I just could not believe what I was hearing when that was playing, and I was like,
so funny, because I'm sitting in between Liam from Screen Rant and then Shanice, like my friend from Access Hollywood, and I just look between the two. I'm like, is this the song that is happening right now? I think we all had the same expression, and I saw, like, Liam's, like, sitting next to me. He was like leaning forward, and then he, like, leaned back instead of like, oh, this is gonna be an intense moment. No, never mind.
Yeah, no.
Like, we all had the same reaction. I was like, yeah, this is.
And it stinks. It sucks. Yeah.
The thing about some of the, like, fair critiques that are out there, like I think we're making right now, these are so easily fixable. Like, the next time we see Supergirl, not just in Man of Tomorrow, but, like, in her own movie, because I'm sure they're going to do Supergirl 2 eventually, it's probably going to be incredible, because I think everything that was a problem in this movie, and like I just said, is so easily fixable. Sure, like, there's a comic book story that people may be disappointed didn't get it adapted 1-to-1, which is totally fair, but stuff like the music and slow-mo and pacing issues, like, these are so just common problems that I'm so confident, like, I'm just glad coming out of this movie, it's not like Millie was the problem. Like, she is such a good Supergirl, and I can't wait to see her again. It's just these little odd movie choices that bring things down, I think, overall.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the movie itself, the journey that Kara goes on, I loved it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't meaning to go on a journey of like, okay, I'm realizing I have this pain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live with this anymore, or at least I'm going to, but I'm going to find a way to persevere and just like put it on like a back shelf and better myself and become the woman of tomorrow, like the woman
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I thought start to finish that was beautiful, and especially since she didn't want to touch the suit that Clark gave her.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm looking at my family chest, like crest, and it's too, I don't know, it was too painful for her. And I thought that was so reasonable. It's like, I want to get off worlds. I don't connect with Earth. I want to do my own thing. I want to just deal with my pain by drinking my life away and just like party it up, girl. And you know what? Some people we have those moments and whatever. But I love that she goes on this journey, you know, to help Ruthie. Not that she wanted to in the beginning, and then saving Crypto. And in the end, she accepts who Clark knows that she is. And she realizes that's who I want to be. And I think that's so empowering to see this amazing woman on screen go like, you know what? No, I am going to be a hero. I am going to be the better person. And I'm going to work on myself and become better. And I'm someone who is going through pain myself. Not that I've lost my entire planet and my family. But someone who is dealing with a lot of heartache and pain right now. It felt really good and almost inspiring to watch another woman do that and be like, yeah, no, I will wake up tomorrow and I will be the best version of myself. And I'm going to keep working on myself to do that. So I loved it. And I was someone who actually, I was okay with the suit not being worn until the end.
Yeah.
I was okay with it just because she had to find herself to accept being that symbol of that beacon for everyone. You know, the whole entire galaxy is going to know her now, right? I liked it. I do not like the trope in every movie that does that, where it's like, we're going to reveal this person's a superhero at the end, and they're going to wear
this. So many superhero movies and shows have done that every year. It's where like, regardless of the story, we're going to make you wait till the end to get that superhero
that comic accurate suit. Yeah. Weird.
For some reason, didn't hate it with this because this made sense.
It works. Yeah, you're so right when you say that. You're so right. You've sold me on that for sure. And I totally agree. And you guys notice how I rated this movie a 5 or a 6, and I have not spoken on the performances by the actors at all whatsoever because it has nothing to do with them. Yeah. Phenomenal. Millie Alcock, amazing. I can't wait to see her in an adaptation or the next movie that has a more well written and more thought of script that's just really taken care of instead. And not to say that they didn't try to take care of the script. I don't think that at all whatsoever. I just think that it can be done better, and that we'll be able to see more of what Millie's able to do with a better script. And I think my favorite parts of this movie and the most emotional parts of this movie, which I loved, were the flashbacks on Argo. And I like my favorite parts of the movie, and I was like, I just want to stay here. This is me learning about Kara.
I think in the editing room, that should have been the beginning of the movie. That should have
been. I completely agree. Yeah.
Everything shown. And then like I was telling my dad, I was like, if I was directing it, I would have had like all the flashbacks showing her life there, you know, for the first 15, 20 minutes. And then she wakes up, like, because the alarm goes off, and it's like her passed out, waking up. She's like, oh, I'm hungover. I need yellow sun. That's when it should have.
Yes. Started. Yeah. And I guess I understand how.
And then.
Yeah. And I think that would have worked way better. And I think it would have been more refreshing to see that in the beginning so we can have a better understanding. Because, I mean, the explanation came so late in the movie, it felt like, before we started really jumping back. Like, we had to wait forever to get those flashback scenes. And I was sitting there like, when are we going to get those scenes? Like the specific scene from the trailer where she says, no, Krypton didn't die that day. The gods aren't that kind. And I was like, we still haven't gotten that. And we're like almost over halfway through this movie, and I guess they decided to wait until she was explaining it to Ruthie. I just think that's a weird decision. You're right. It just wasn't the best decision, I should say. But the Argo scenes were beautiful. They were colorful, and I understand that's kind of a way of storytelling. This was a lot of a warmer part of her life where she felt a lot of love, and that totally makes sense. And I don't know. I think the scenes. Her dad's name, is it Jor-El, or is that her uncle's name? I forget what his name is. Kara's dad. I don't remember his name.
It's Jor-El. It's Zor-El who
is Clark's dad.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Jor-El. Hey, Noah, I got that. I remember that. Jor-El. Oh my gosh, that actor. Don't know his name. Phenomenal. Like the most gripping and
David, I
emotional
met him.
delivery. Did you? That's so cool.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, so
He's
cool.
actually in the Santa Claus movies because he plays Bernard the Elf. And so I said
Oh
that to him.
my
What?
gosh. No way.
My childhood. I shook his hand and he's like, "Oh, I know who you are. I've seen all your videos." I go, "That's amazing."
Kaleigh,
Like,
that's so crazy.
I was like,
Oh my
"I love you,
gosh.
Santa Claus. Like, you're Bernard." But yeah, like
That's so
that's who that
cool.
is.
Wow, that is so cool. He
I
did
can't believe that
so
too.
well. He did so
Oh my god.
well. I loved those scenes.
Blew me out of the park because like he was spoken straight up like Kryptonian the entire time. Or Kryptonese.
Yes.
Really?
Oh my god, that is
It's
it. Sorry, I got
Kryptonese. In the comics they call it Kryptonese, but in the movie they're like Clark says Kryptonian. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
in that language the entire time, which was so cool.
It was seamless. Seamless. You couldn't you didn't even think about it that they were speaking a different language. It was just so normal coming from him and Millie. It was so well done. Yeah, I loved the scenes with her and her family. That was definitely the most emotional scene in the movie. And I loved getting her mom's final words and final wish to her was, you don't have to be nice, but you have to be good. Like, that's such a huge thing. Like, if you could describe Supergirl, I feel like that's how you really would describe her, is like, she might not always be the nicest person, but she's always going to do the right thing. And we see that time and time again throughout the entire movie. I mean, she didn't have to go and get Ruthie's sword back from that guy. You know, Ruthie wasn't in mortal danger or anything, but she went and got the sword back because a little kid had her sword taken and she just lost her whole family, and she could relate to that. And I think that was a really cool moment. And that's something that I really, really enjoyed, is getting to know that side of Supergirl and getting to know her in that way. So that, I mean, I really enjoy her as a character. So I am really looking forward to getting more of her in the future. That is for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of characters, I obviously was really excited about Jason Momoa as Lobo in this movie, and I thought he did amazing, and obviously looked incredible. At one point, I was like when the movie was about to end, I was like, he was in this, but I think he didn't really need to be.
He didn't need to be. He was just kind of cool.
Yeah, so like super excited that he got to play like what his dream role is. He was like one of the first people casted, probably one of the quickest castings ever in all of movie history. From that, the story about the text that James Gunn sent him, or I don't know who sent who a text first. But so like, I'm so glad he got to be Lobo, and I'm looking forward to him in the future. It just felt like they just put him in this movie though, just so he can make his debut as Lobo, and then we'll see him next time. Yeah. Like, he got captured by the brigands, I believe I'm saying that right, and they didn't show it, and I'm like, how do you get captured? And I don't know. There was just a couple of things where I was like, I'm not really sure why he needed to be in this movie. Glad he was. I just wish they found a way to give him a little bit more of an important role if he was gonna be in the movie.
He just kept kind of showing up,
right?
But then there wasn't a reason for it.
Yeah,
which is fine. Like, I felt like other characters made more sense to be there, but I don't know. Like, I'm glad that he got to play the role, and he's perfect for it. But it wasn't needed for this film. It wasn't in the Woman of Tomorrow comic, so really, it was just because Jason Momoa wanted to do it, which is fine. It also just hit me right now that I am so sick right now that Kara's dad is Zor-El, and it's
okay. I didn't have it right. Didn't have it right, guys. Didn't have it right.
I was like, I just completely said the wrong thing. But I say, like, he had more of an important role. Like, that made sense. We get all those flashbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Why do we have Jason Momoa's Lobo?
Yeah. It was just
seen it for the future. Because there's so many cool things that you could do with Superman against Lobo and all that stuff. And he's kind of like a menace for him. But I don't know.
I think it was just to like kind of get him started as Lobo, because when you really think about it, like Man of Tomorrow, we got Brainiac in there, like we got an all-star cast that's kind of already set. I think they were just looking for a reason to put him in something, because if they didn't do that, when were we gonna see a Lobo project over the next few years? Because we already kind of have like, all right, we'll start with Superman, then Supergirl, then back with Superman, and then we got Lanterns and Peacemaker and all this other stuff going on in terms of shows. Oh man, when does Lobo fit in this? Oh, well, we'll just put him in Supergirl, and we'll find a role. And again, I'm not even complaining. I wish we got a little more of him, and there was more of a reason for him to be there. But when he was there, I mean, great performance, certainly a presence on screen. I thought it was super entertaining, and I am like, just like I'm looking forward to seeing Millie again. Like, I am pumped to see what they actually do with Lobo from here on out, because it's so open ended. Like, there's not like anything from this movie that tells you like, oh, this is where we're going with Lobo next, opposed to Supergirl, where we know like, all right, she's back on Metropolis, she's going to be a Man of Tomorrow. I have no idea when the next time we're going to see Lobo is.
Yeah.
But I'll be seated when we see it. That's I guess a positive.
I think one thing I will say about Lobo is what I really didn't need was him to bail Kara out at the end. I was like, was Kara really gonna die there? Like, did we really need him to bail her out? No. I thought that was kind of unnecessary.
She was defeated way too many times. Like,
I thought so too. Yes.
More powerful than Clark.
Yes, and I didn't know that. And no one would know that.
I don't care what anyone says. It is literally a known fact in the comics that she is stronger than her cousin. So how is she being, like, depowered so many times? Like,
the majority of the movie.
Like, twice? Sure, like, especially with the green sun. Makes sense. La, 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 la. Why did that happen so much, though, where she's just, like, taking a punch and it's like, oh, no.
Yeah,
no.
I hated that.
That's not like her. She is strong.
They didn't power scale her very well at all. Yeah. No, I could totally agree with that. I think that's something I said to someone else, and I totally just forgot about that. I hated that she was getting her butt kicked in a good amount of these scenes, and I hated that. And I think another big issue with the power scaling comes from the villain. And I think that's the only way I can see the comparison between Iron Man 2 and this movie is that everyone talks about how weak the villain is in Iron Man 2, Whiplash. And that's the only way I can see it. But, you know, in Iron Man 2, we have a smart man in a suit fighting a smart man with, you know, different kind of suit. In this, we have Supergirl getting beat up by just a guy. Just a guy. And I think that's so weird.
He so happens to be terrible because he chooses to be. Because he doesn't care. He's like, this is me. Just letting you know, I don't care.
And he's just gross looking, and he happens to have kryptonite.
Comic. Like, he looks like Ginger and like a normal dude in the comic. And then, I don't know, it was supposed to be like an edgy it didn't work for me.
It didn't land.
It didn't make him more intimidating. Giving him all these piercings is not going to make him more intimidating.
It just kind of made it worse. I was like, you guys really tried here, and it just did not work.
You know what's punk rock? Let's pierce this guy's face out.
Yeah.
His entire body, head to toe, is going to have piercings. What do you think of that? And it's like,
maybe
all
not.
right.
Yeah, I don't know if Supergirl should be worried. About that.
Glaringly overall positives that not even just like, oh, like Millie's performance or Jason's performance, but like stuff throughout the movie where you were like, I really like that. Obviously, we like all the flashback stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part. I think a lot of people are saying that. And honestly, like, even though like I agree they did a lot of slow-mo in that last action fight that I was like, I really don't know why we keep going to slow-mo here. But overall, I still enjoyed the action. Like, I forget what the planet was called, but when the couple sells out, Kara and Rufy and everybody shows up and we get this big fight, I loved it. I was like, yo, things are really, I'm invested at this point in the movie is what I'm trying to say. When for the first like 45 minutes or so, I was enjoying the movie, but I was kind of waiting for like it to take the next step. I don't want to say it was slow. Maybe I feel that way because it was a little bit weirdly edited and stuff like that. But by the time we got there, I felt like it really started to pick up. And then overall, I really enjoyed the action in this movie.
Yeah, no, I thought that was something that I really enjoyed as well. And the CGI, though, like, the story start to finish, there were some things that, you know, like, could have been better here and there. The visuals this time, like, CGI-wise, I thought was better than Superman because...
That's interesting because, like, the flying scene specifically, the close-up scene of her flying, I was like, man, I don't like the way that looks right now. I thought it was so different.
I thought in Superman, like, especially that first scene where he's, like, really up close and it's just, like, in your face and he's just, like, gonna spin kind of.
Yeah.
I never thought that scene looked that good.
Yeah.
But for this, I was like, oh, I think her flying looks more natural. Like, it doesn't look so fake. Like, I could believe that. Okay, the only time that it looked iffy for me is when she was carrying Ruthie and I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yes.
Bad, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that scene wasn't fully finished, but I was like,
yeah, I feel like a lot of the moments where I was like, ooh, that green screen's not good, all came from the last act of the movie. I was like, ooh, this looks way different from the beginning half of the movie. Like, the last act, I was like, ooh, that's a bad green screen moment. ooh, that like last weird shot of her doing this action scene or this close up of her flying, I was like, that looks a little weird. But those are like nitpicks, you know? What do
Yeah.
I know about CGI? Like,
I
I don't know.
I I love Industrial Light and Magic. Shout out them
Yes.
because
Yep. Me
they
too.
are my favorite group of people out there. I think they did. Personally, when I watched it, I was like, the visuals are so good in this compared to like
Mhm.
other projects that I've seen recently. Um, so I would say like that was a positive for me. And like the relationship between Kara and Ruthie, I loved the
Yeah.
journey between them start to finish. And I think that they had such great, you know, like on screen, you know, chemistry, like friendship chemistry.
Mhm.
Like it was almost like she was Kara's little sister, you know, in this, and she's annoying her, but yet she's still there, and Kara's like,
Yeah.
"Fine, I'll help you. I get it. Like
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we can do this together." And then they grow this really close bond, which I love.
Mhm.
And I thought that that was great. And I thought Eve, who plays Ruthie, was really. I want her in more.
Yes. Yeah.
She's a very talented young actress. Um, and honestly, I don't know how she could come back in the DCU. Like, I think Ruthie's kind of like done. Like, we're probably not
Yeah.
going to see her again.
Mhm.
But maybe down the line, if like Supergirl's in trouble out in space, we'll see her or something. But really, what I would hope for Supergirl in the future is we get another solo film and maybe a team up movie with Supergirl and Batgirl. That is what I want.
That's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Their friendship, like her connection with the Bat family in the comics, it just I don't know, it is something to me that I'm so drawn to and I love it so much. Um and I love her friendship with Batgirl. I think it's
Mhm.
great. So, if I had to say like down the line, but overall like I thought the movie was fun. I had a
Mhm.
fun time. Just the action in general was I don't know, like it was gritty, it was messy and I liked it cuz
Yeah.
she didn't care like I'm going to beat you up. Like Clark doesn't really do that. It's
Mhm.
like I'm going to try and save the thing I'm fighting, you know, like from that alien in
Yes.
uh,
Yeah.
the
The
first movie.
kaiju
Yeah,
or
the
whatever it's
guy.
called. Yeah. Yeah.
He tried saving it. He wanted to figure out a plan to save, but Kara
Yeah.
doesn't. He's like, "No, okay, you're done. Like you're going to
Yeah.
fight me, you're done."
Yeah, like she killed him in the end, and I was like,
Crazy.
wasn't sure if that was gonna happen, like if she
I
was
knew
really
it was
gonna
gonna
kill
happen. I
him.
was like,
Yeah,
she's like not gonna let Ruthie do it, but she's gonna do it. I was like, I knew
yeah,
she was gonna end up doing
yeah,
it. But
yeah.
I like that she just I don't know that she found herself and yeah, for me it had a lot of positives. I don't think it should be getting as much hate as it has
Mhm.
been getting, and I'm
Yeah.
really frustrated with people and specifically certain famous magazines have been writing things and I'm like,
Really weird takes. Yeah, like
Yeah.
not
I
even like
saw
criticisms, like not even film
talking about
criticism, just
Millie's look.
weird. Yeah, just weird. It's weird. It's not professional at all whatsoever,
Yeah.
and I think it's strange. Yeah,
And
yeah.
might I add, Millie's gorgeous.
She
She's even
is.
prettier in person. I mean, I don't understand these takes of like, yeah, she's not all that, guys. Like, sir, I want you to
Pump
look
the
in the mirror.
brakes.
Like,
We
hold
rewind
the
the clips to
phone.
when that first
And
Supergirl
good.
trailer dropped and we reacted
If
to
you're
it
saying that
on the
about Millie,
spot.
then you might need to look in a mirror and reevaluate.
No, I'm like, post all your selfies right now at that one magazine I'm thinking
Right
of.
Put in the
Post your
comments.
selfie.
You don't
Let
like
everybody
Millie,
rate them.
under this video, put a
Yeah. Want to see a picture
Hey.
of
I'll judge
you.
if you could say
Yeah.
that.
That's so
I don't know.
funny.
I hate that that is the biggest criticism of this movie, and that's why people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go see it." Like,
If you
no,
hear
it-
that as a criticism from people, like I'm not listening to the rest of your
No,
opinion
like
because,
you're,
like,
you're
what? Like,
mindless.
you want to come
You
with
don't
some
know.
fair criticisms of the movie from a genuine fan perspective, where like you want it to be something it wasn't, but you're hopeful for the future. Sure, those are fair conversations you could have all day, non-toxic conversations.
Yeah.
But people just be like doubling down online, and DC's still in this fair spot with the DCU where because there was so many rough years, there's like this low patience with people, and it's like, guys, this is our second movie into the DCU, and a lot. Listen, there was people who didn't like Superman, obviously, but a lot of people absolutely loved Superman. I don't think you could have started the DCU better. This is
Yeah.
only the second movie.
Yeah.
And although, like, as I stated earlier, I don't think it was the greatest movie in the world, I still think it was good. And again, as I stated earlier, the things that were wrong or a problem in this movie are so easily fixable. Like, this
Yeah.
is not doom and gloom, it's all over for the
Yeah.
DCU. Anybody saying that online is totally jumping
I mean,
ship
even
way
if
too
you
early, or you
had
were
the
never on the
MCU
ship to begin
started,
with and you're preying on
you
the
know?
downfall.
Like the MCU started with Iron Man, and then the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
But there was no discourse about that. They're like, oh, it's over. No more comic book. Like,
yeah.
no. I just
people are so strange now. I don't know. Yeah, people are just so harsh now, and I feel like everyone feels like they have to be a critic as well. It's like that's a part of me like juggles this also when I go and see films now that I'm like in this space where people are wanting to know my thoughts about a movie, and I'm like, sometimes I don't even have thoughts about a movie. You know what I mean? But I feel like I have to be a critic.
That's how I felt in our Toy Story part of this episode.
Yeah, like exactly. Like I just watched the movie and I just want to watch the movie and not have to give an explanation about how I felt about it. It's so hard for me to rate movies for some reason because unless a movie is absolutely unwatchable, I'm always going to be able to find something that I liked about it. But unfortunately, with this movie, there's so many more weird, like nitpicky things that I just didn't like than there is things that I really enjoyed. But everything with Kara, I think, is great. There's just technical things that I really didn't like about the movie, and that's kind of where it became, that was the downfall of the movie for me. But yeah, that's kind of why I landed
My dad actually pointed this out because it didn't even hit me when I was watching it for the first time. Why was Clark so worried about Krypto eating chocolate if he's a super-powered dog?
Yeah.
And an alien dog, mind you, so his stomach is different. His only thing is kryptonite. His only thing is kryptonite.
He just didn't want to have too many sweets that night. I don't know.
Like, why was that? Like, I love that ending scene, though. I think that was supposed to be a post-credit scene, and then they just made it the end scene, and then there was no post-credits, right?
Right, yeah.
I was expecting, like, a Brainiac tease, but...
I thought I would have loved that.
Yeah, but it just went right into normal credits.
Like, it would have been cool if it was, like, Brainiac's ship, and he sees Kara heading back to Earth while he's also heading to Earth. Like, I think that would have been cool. I don't know. I'm not a director. I'm not a writer, guys, but I'm just saying...
But we love when things tie in. We're always down for a post-credit scene.
Always in for a tie-in, especially if she's going to be in that movie. But that final scene, I really liked it, other than the fact, that my dad pointed out, if he's a super-powered alien dog, I don't think chocolate's going to kill him.
Just going to give him a little sugar rush. Clark was like, I'm not dealing with that tonight.
I'm not doing this. He's going to be bouncing off the walls in here.
He's not staying here.
Yeah. We just went a whole movie trying to get an antidote for the stinking dog, and we're worried about the chocolate now.
Honestly, it's so Clark, though. Like, it's just being such a dweeb. Like, no chocolate.
It's just like dog chocolate, no.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he didn't even realize it's like, oh, wait, no, Krypto's fine.
Yeah. If anybody else said that line, I'd be more like, all right, what are we doing here? But it's Clark. Like, because he's such a, like, supposed to be kind of a dweeb, he gets so many passes from me. Like,
I think one other thing I want to talk about, because I want to know what you guys felt about it, was the kryptonite tipped arrows. And when he shot like 1 million of them into Supergirl, and then she takes them out and then is fine, I was like, okay, now you're like really confusing me, because how is she just about to die from it?
I thought the sun
and now
healed
she's
her.
fine. Yeah, but like, if I don't know, I just thought it was so. Why did it affect her in the first place, though?
I will say, it is a little weird that she was immediately just fine, because even if kryptonite's still near her, that weakens her. Like, so even if it's not stabbed in her, you take it out, okay, that will take some of the effects away. If it's near her, like, that weakens her powers. So it was a little confusing. I was just like, yeah, I'll let it slide. But yeah, no, I did think about that as well, of like, no, because if kryptonite's around at all, still not given 100% at that point. So it was a little confusing.
And they showed it like fuse into her cells and everything, and I was like,
it was so cool. I will say that was
cool.
So cool to see like, the kryptonite taking over her like bloodstream and everything. That was sick. But if we're gonna show that and then it's like, oh, I'm just gonna throw it away now, it's still around you. Like,
yes, it was a bit jarring. I just felt it was a bit jarring.
Just on the floor in front of you, Kara, that should still be affecting you.
Yeah, like she just stood up and I was like, all right, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
And again, like, this is totally like lack of ball knowledge plus me trying to add plot armor in. Like, I think about Superman last year and I'm like, all right, he was around kryptonite, but he was like inside that the pocket universe. There was no sun. He was just like dying in there, opposed to Supergirl where she was outside in the sun. So maybe, but again, this is like lack of ball knowledge. I'm trying to justify it, but at the end of the day, whatever. I'm just like, it is what it is.
Like, if anything, I'm just like, That's not like the biggest problem.
No, yeah. I was like, am I just like crazy, or did anyone else notice? I was like, maybe I just don't know enough about kryptonite. Like Noah said, the ball knowledge just isn't there. I was like, oh, I don't know if that was weird only to me. But yeah, that was just another thing that I remembered about the villain. I was like, oh, of course he has kryptonite tipped arrows.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, that's kind
Honestly,
of crazy.
watching that, it then hit me. I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna explain how Lex knew that was his weakness in the first
Mhm.
one. That was something I always thought about. I'm like, how did he know?
Yeah.
I mean, because I thought it would be like he wouldn't use kryptonite until probably meeting Kara, because then he would probably discover it. That's what I always thought, like before seeing Superman last year.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wonder how he knew.
Mhm.
Like, that's another thing, just like thinking about that now from watching the second film. It's like, wait, how did Lex know about that? Like,
Yeah, and like I guess
something that
kryptonite's just
happened to Clark with that, in the past. I don't know.
Yeah, because kryptonite was just kind of like a commonly known element in that Earth in the Superman movie. Like even when he comes out of the pocket dimension, Mr. Terrific is like, "Oh, he has kryptonite poisoning." And I'm like, "What? We
It's
just
like,
know
what
these
happened in
things."
the past for you guys
Yeah,
know all of this already? Like, I want to know.
yeah.
Let me in on the know.
Like just
Give
explain
me a
it to
little,
me, and that's fine.
We've
Yeah,
been doing our homework.
Like,
Mrs. Terrific
give me
said,
a little flashback. Like,
"What's up here?"
what happened?
yeah. I'd like to know that. I'd like to know that. It's true. But
Um,
yeah, I mean,
anything else on Supergirl? I do have one Marvel question to throw in here at the end.
I think I think I've said my piece on Supergirl. Honestly.
Okay. We do have Spider-Man Brand New Day next month.
Yes, we
This is
do.
next month, right? What's today? The 26th? Yeah, it's not
Oh
July
yeah.
yet.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Where's the expectations for that? Because me and Laney were talking about it last week, and in terms of just Tom Holland Spider-Man movies specifically, we're both in the camp, like, we think this is probably going to be the best one.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
And I feel like I want to get other people's opinions on that, because a lot of people
Yeah.
are high on No Way Home. I'm even higher on Homecoming. I love that movie. Far From Home, I think, is good. Tom Holland, I love him. He's my favorite Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's in for his best installment yet. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, because the hype is very much real right now about Spider-Man
Yes.
Brand New Day.
So I've always loved Spider-Man. I remember going to see like the Amazing Spider-Man, my dad in theaters, like just so
Mhm.
fun. I grew up on Andrew Garfield. I love Andrew Garfield.
Same.
He, like, I would say, like, just because of nostalgia, he's my favorite.
He is, yeah.
Tom Holland, he was like ripped straight out of a comic. Now, do I think that Homecoming and Far From Home were like the best things ever that happened in Spider-Man media? Not really, but I don't hate them. Like, I still have so much fun rewatching them, and especially Homecoming, which I think is overly hated.
I agree.
But with where we left off with No Way Home, I feel so good about what we're doing with his Spider-Man now. Like, he's more
Mhm.
grounded. He's on his own. He made
Yes.
his own suit. He made his
Yeah.
own web shooters. Like, they're clunky. They're big.
Mhm.
To make him himself. And, like, his suit isn't fully fitted anymore. And, like,
Mhm.
you could see his ear print on the side because
Yes.
it. There's
No
so
more
many
nanotechnology.
Yes.
No,
I
no
know.
more.
the
Yeah.
actual suit. It flows in the wind when he's flying,
Mhm.
like, off of, like, he dove down, like, in the
Yep.
trailer. You could see it.
Yep.
It's perfect. I
Yeah.
feel really good about it. I think this is probably going to be one of the best, or at least I hope it is one of the best Spider-Man movies that we'll ever get. I
Ever,
think
yeah.
his future's so bright. What does he have? He said 2 or 3 movies that he will do after this, and then he's done. So I feel like, and that those are like Spider-Man, like 2 or 3 more Spider-Man based films. That's not including
Yes.
Doomsday or Secret Wars, whatever he's going to be
Or
in
if he
next.
shows up in a Fantastic Four second movie.
Please!
Come on, please.
Dude.
We need it.
Oh my goodness.
Wait. No, I'm
Don't get-
scared because then if he does that, then I'm a little
You know
scared.
what that means? Yeah, we can't
No.
let that happen.
Do that in
no.
F-
No,
4-3.
Johnny can't die. Johnny can't
Yeah,
die.
he can't die. We
I
can't
will
let it.
say there's a lot of things around this new movie I'm a little scared for, just because I'm like, I have theories of my own of what's going to happen, but I do think it's
Mhm.
going to be one of the best Spider-Man films, probably.
I think that's a good
All right,
take.
don't let me keep you, but you got to give me one theory. You can't throw that out there and not give
Oh,
me
okay.
one theory.
I want to make a video on this, but I'm going to tell you guys first. You remember during Stranger Things when Millie Bobby Brown was wearing all black? Every single interview, she was like wearing black.
I just saw something about this, yeah.
She revealed that she was in mourning, right? And she didn't
Yes.
want to be public about it. Why is Zendaya wearing all black during this press that she's doing right now? Every single dress is black, whether it has a spider on it on the front or it's like black dahlias on the dress.
Yeah.
Every dress she has worn, every shirt that she has worn. Like
Mhm.
that Spider-Man shirt, it's all black.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think MJ's gonna die. In not the same way as Gwen, but I think that she's going to die at the end of this film, and then they're going to introduce Gwen Stacy, and it's going to be a reversal because they
No
have
way.
Pippa, who is not marked as anyone right now, but she's in the movie. I think that she's playing Gwen, and I think that they're gonna have it be a reversal. Next movie, he's gonna start being friends with her, whatever, and he's gonna remember Andrew Spider-Man talking about I lost Gwen, she was my MJ,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
realize, oh, I could lose this girl too, and then he's gonna try and like separate himself. But ultimately, they might be setting it up so that his love of his life in this universe is Gwen Stacy, and he will have to lose one last person to do the things that he needs to do.
Gosh.
And maybe
Yeah.
I think that because she keeps saying also like bring
Mm-hmm.
tissues. I'm like,
I
Zendaya, what does
know.
that mean?
Like,
Bring
please stop.
tissues.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no, I don't think I can handle it. And there's also
Mhm.
rumors that he might die at the end of the film and be brought
Right.
back to
Yeah.
the symbiote. So it's like MJ dies, then he dies, and then he comes back. That's gonna destroy me. But I think
Yeah.
that is my biggest theory right now. Is I've been slowly noticing that I'm like she's wearing too much black.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All of her outfits always hint at stuff for the movies. That's what's so
Uh-huh.
great about Zendaya. She has a great stylist, and
She
they
does.
work.
Law.
Yes,
We love you, Law.
I love him so much. They work in such a way that there's always hidden messages with it.
Mhm.
And so I feel like it's too lined up in a way where it's like,
Like it's
that
right there.
it
Yeah.
might be happening, and I don't think I can mentally handle that right now.
Right. Wow, that's such an interesting theory. I
That's
haven't heard that theory before. Wow, that's so crazy. I was fully expecting you to go the route of Spider-Man dying because that's
yeah, because
really, I feel
everyone's
like
saying that. I'm like, no,
everyone's
guys,
saying that.
I think MJ is gonna die, and I
Mhm.
think that they're doing a reversal where it's like, oh, he loses Gwen Stacy, and then he meets his MJ. No. I think he's losing MJ, and then we're getting Gwen Stacy,
Oh, that's
and that's
crazy.
I'm interested because one
That
thing
is
I love
crazy.
about the Tom Holland movies is it's Marvel's always taking big swings. Going back to Homecoming, they're not doing the traditional. They're bringing in Spider-Man elements and Spider-Man villains, but they're not doing things just like the Tobey movies or just like the Andrew movies. Like they skipped over. We didn't even see Tom get bitten by a spider, and I don't mind at all because we've been there, done that in so many movies and comics and
Exactly.
shows. I love that they've always done something different with Tom Holland Spider-Man. So I'm open to ideas like that, like you just saying.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be expecting it, and it would certainly take me by surprise. And I'm gonna feel very sad in the theaters if that happens.
Wait till like the end of July comes, and then I come back, and I'm like, oh god, I called it, guys. That I'm
Guys, I'm sorry I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean
You're
it.
like,
I
I
didn't
didn't
want
mean
it to happen.
to.
I didn't mean to manifest it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Like, can you
no.
imagine, like, in a post-credit scene, we get Gwen and we get Joe Keery as Harry Osborn? I mean,
I'll
like,
flip out if I
obviously-
see Joe
Mwah.
Keery in a post-credit scene.
Mwah, mwah,
Oh
mwah.
my gosh.
I know. Can you
And I
imagine?
have the saddest crush on Harry Osborn. It's not even funny.
Like, get ready to be sick of me.
I'm seeing him in concert in like what 2 weeks now.
Yeah,
But oh
that's
god,
awesome.
he's Harry
That's
Osborn.
so cool. Wouldn't he
He's
be
like-
so good? I feel like he'd be perfect for that. Yeah.
I know. We already got 2 Stranger Things actors in the MCU. I'm open to one more, and
Bring
it's
on
him.
the third. Yeah.
Throw
I
him
want-
in, guys. Throw him in.
Ain't nobody gonna be
Please.
complaining.
No. Oh, we're so excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day. But the funny thing is the next thing we're going to be talking about for the next like couple weeks is going to be the new season of X-Men 97. So
Oh,
before
yeah.
you go, I wanted to know, have you seen the first season of X-Men 97?
Yes, I have.
Thank
I
you.
actually I've watched it with a couple different people in my life. And yeah, no, I actually really loved it. I loved Gambit. God.
Thank you!
Oh
I
gosh.
love Gambit.
Right?
And
I'll
I
just
love-
leave. You guys can gush
Oh,
about him. I'll go with
there's
that.
so many great things about that show, but specifically my biggest thing was like, oh no, I love Gambit now. Because
Mhm.
really I wasn't someone who had so much knowledge on him before. But yeah, no, that show I really love him. And
Yeah, I'm just so glad that the show is one, just so well done, but two, has just opened everyone up to really, really getting to know the X-Men because of the state of the MCU. Now they're all eyes are pointed to X-Men
Channing Tatum
97.
was not the best representation.
No, and I totally no.
He was good
no.
enough for that movie.
Yes,
And he'll be
yeah.
fine in Doomsday and maybe Secret Wars, but after that,
Yes.
yeah, we need to
Moving
mix it.
forward, we need a recast.
We need
Yeah,
a-
and
A new one.
We need a new one. And like, you guys knew this already. Gambit's my favorite superhero of all time. I've
Yes.
literally only loved him just forever. But I just feel like what we got from him in this first season of X-Men 97 is just such a testament to who he is. And I can't wait for the arc that he's not done with, by the way. I can't wait for the arc he's going to go on, for where he and Rogue are going to go. X-Men 97 season 2 is just going to be so unbelievable, and I can't wait to see what you have to say about season 2 as well, because I don't think I was too sure if you had seen it yet. So I just wanted to know, like, will we be seeing a little bit of like X-Men content from Kaleigh Talty, maybe, perhaps?
I think so. I'm definitely going to talk about it. I didn't talk too much about it for the first season. I mostly posted like on my story, be like, watching it right now, guys, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I was a little scared to talk about it because I was like, I don't want to be like told like, oh my god, like why are you talking about X-Men of all?
I know.
That's us with DC right now.
Yeah. It is.
Like I talk about all things. Like I'm a film journalist, so I talk about all things film, TV, music, whatever it is. Like I'm a pop culture journalist.
Yep.
But I did, with X-Men, I got a little scared because sometimes my takes with the X-Men are like scary, and some people don't like the fact that I don't love some stuff from the Fox universe, and there were so many different things I would do differently. And
I would do everything differently.
Okay,
everything.
So everything.
We love the X-Men. Maybe more than anything else in Marvel.
Yes,
but the Fox movies did not do a lot of things.
No, and like as much as I like Days of Future Past and First Class, like the X-Men deserve so much better than even those movies. And when I posted that video about like, do you actually want to do this or not by watching the Fox movies, everyone was like, some of those are peak, and I was like, no, they're not. No, they're not. And I'm like the biggest X-Men fan ever. They're not.
I just was like, I would rather our X-Men be in the movie, like the people we're going to have as the X-Men the next 10 years. The Fox universe people coming back. Because I don't know, like I think it's great, nostalgia-based stuff, cool. Do we really need them again?
Not necessary.
We buy so many times to these people. And now we're doing it again.
You say it one more time.
Like,
I completely agree.
They didn't hear you last time. Say it louder.
Like, hang on, wait. We're gonna put James Marsden in a really cool suit, and then we're gonna die. Yeah, we're gonna kill them all. Yeah. Yes, I totally agree. Like as cool as it is, and that it will be, seeing James Marsden get the writing and the flowers that he deserves for that role, because I personally think he could have been a generational cast as Cyclops. As much as I'm excited to see that, it is completely unnecessary. And I do wish that the X-Men were first being introduced very organically and naturally, and not just thrown back into the midst of a plot that we know nothing about, when we haven't seen them in like 30 years or however long it's been. Like, come on.
Yeah, all right, guys. In like a couple years from now, we're going to be sitting down watching the X-Men reboot movie with like people our age, and it's going to be
Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, right, Noah Nation?
Hey, I've been riding that bandwagon
since Jean Grey, but I don't know. We might be wrong. I don't know.
We could be wrong. We really could.
If I'm wrong at this point, I'm gonna have to sit down, like, make an apology statement on this podcast, because I've been saying it for so long.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, I hyped it up. I'm sorry. I've even said it on my page. I'm like, I think that's who she is. I mean,
I think so too.
Why else would we be so secretive?
Right.
You know? Like,
I agree.
To be some unknown character that's like so niche. Why does it have to be a secret? Like, I feel like
there's just so many signs pointing to it. Like, she's literally in like some green and yellow jacket and whatever she's wearing.
From the
like,
comics,
green and yellow out of all colors?
Oh,
like, come on, guys.
And it's like, it's this young girl with telepathic powers, and she's obviously a mutant, and you're telling me it's not Jean Grey. Yeah, so we've just kind of landed there, and I'm so excited. I am really excited, even though it wasn't how I would have preferred the X-Men to first get their little bit of an introduction into the MCU. I'm not mad about it. I am excited about it, especially to see her. I don't want to hear about your takes.
But like legitimately though, if I leave that movie theater and she's not Jean Grey, I'm gonna be embarrassed. Like, I've been riding on that theory for so long.
It was like bad YouTuber apology video. Hey guys, I'm so sorry.
Like, you have to I made a mistake. No editing, just sitting down.
I'm actually quitting the podcast, guys.
It was like the 4th episode of this podcast, and we had our friend Grayson on when Sadie was like first really, it was like confirmed she was gonna be in this movie.
We were clowning him, Kaleigh.
They were throwing out left and right who she could be, and I was like, hear me out, guys. Jean Grey. They were like, That's
No.
funny. Moving on.
Like, you're an idiot.
So I
There's
felt
just
real
no way.
validated the closer and closer we get to this movie, but if for some reason I sit down and watch Spider-Man Brand New Day and she says any other name but Jean Grey, I'd be like, guys, it wasn't me. I swear it was my clone on the podcast this whole time.
That was actually my evil twin who said that on the pod. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who the last
Oh my
couple
God.
ones said me. It wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. But
Lady,
Spider-Man
were
Brand New
you-
Day, we're so excited. It's
So
soon.
excited.
It's so soon. Oh my goodness. Well, Kaleigh, it has been so much fun. I can't even tell you how happy I am that we were able to get you on. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was the best time. I had a great time talking with you guys.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much. And Noah,
Yeah,
do
this
we
is
want to
awesome.
run through the socials one more time?
Yeah, we can run through it. Ladies first. You can start.
Oh, okay. You can find me everywhere at Laney Byers on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Come join the Twitch and YouTube community. Stream community is the best ever. I'd love to see you guys there. Noah Nation?
You can follow me everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at Noah Nation Nerdy. Of course, you can follow the podcast as well on Instagram, TikTok, and newly on Twitter at the Lightforce Pod. Kaleigh?
Wow.
At Kaleigh Talty, literally Google, guys. You know,
Put it
get
in the
with
Google.
the program. Let's get this
Come on.
going. But
Put in a
She
little
just-
legwork. Hit
Yeah.
the follow, guys.
Hit the
What are you
follow
doing?
Takes
now.
2 seconds. Just hit a quick follow,
Just
guys.
hit it. And really, like, where have you been? She just hit 60,000 followers on Instagram. Like, where
I mean,
are you?
come on.
You live under a rock? Like, hit the follow button.
Open your eyes.
Open your eyes, though.
Oh, goodness.
Kaleigh,
All
it's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Thank you, and we'll see you guys next Friday.